Find. All right, let me see. I don't want Easter. That's not where I know on Easter. So I'll do another one. Easter, that's maybe. Okay. That's better. I don't know if anybody's here. There's Melanie. You're the first one, Melanie. I hope you have your camera on. Will you be able to turn on your camera so I can see you? There you are. I like your background. It makes me wish I was there. I were there in the ocean. So, tell me about you. Hello.
We talked before.
Yes. Yes. Thank you for coming in early. I didn't know how many would be interested in coming in early. But anyway, what is that your background? What is where is that at? Is it a Philippine view?
I don't know, ma'am. I just see it in here in my background, ma'am.
Okay. Yeah, that's so cool though. I like it because it look like you're really there in the waters. The waves look good.
Yes, ma'am. It's relaxing.
Yeah. Where are you in where are you in the Philippines at? What
Sambales, ma'am.
Zambales? That's like how far is that from Manila?
4 hours drive.
Oh, really? 4 hours still. For some reason I always
For
think it's closer. Okay.
here, ma'am, now it's heavy. We have a heavy rain.
Oh yeah. Oh no.
Yes, we have typhoon Egay.
Oh, I did not know that. Well, I hope you all will be okay. Here we wish for rain. It's been a few days. It's been a few days, and it's supposed to be another few days before we get one. So I've been watering my plants about every day because they are pretty, pretty dry. I have some tomatoes that were actually having fruits and they were looking like they're dying. so I had to
Your weather is good there, ma'am.
yeah, the weather in the southern part of the US is actually way better than that north. North would be like New York and New Jersey, all those places there in the Northeast. Those are cold. But right now, everybody seems to be experiencing the heat here in the US right now. So
It's summer, ma'am.
yeah, it is summer here. Yeah,
Oh, okay.
summer here. And of course, in the Philippines, we're like summer all year long. Yeah, we just
Here in
have,
the Philippines now, we have typhoon.
oh, where did it start?
Egay is upcoming typhoon here is Falcon.
Oh, wow. When did that start? The typhoon? What day
I
did?
think Monday
Oh,
last week.
and it's still there. Wow.
It's a week now training, ma'am.
Oh. Well, your rain or your plants would be very happy. Your plants will be looking so good.
No, ma'am, we have here
You have
baha
flooding?
na.
Oh, flooding. Oh,
Baha na. Yes,
flooding is
ma'am.
not good. Yeah. So you must live close to the river? Are you close to
No,
the?
ma'am.
Oh,
But the area is flooding, ma'am, here in
oh,
the Philippines,
so
in
sorry.
Zambales.
Can you like go outside still, or you have to have a boat?
We can go outside,
Okay. So it's not as bad yet.
but the main road is on flooding.
Oh, that
May
is,
mga baha, ma'am. Matataas
yeah.
yung mga tubig.
But that's not good though, because sometimes we have sewer issues and then all those bacteria will go in the water. So it's not safe unless you're wearing really, like long boots.
Boots. Oh,
Yeah.
yes.
So those people that are not wearing, they could get bacteria and get sick. So they need to stay.
Like leptospirosis
Really?
that comes from the rat.
Oh, yeah? Yeah.
Yes, ma'am.
Get that there. Yeah. So if I were you, I would not get out unless I have like big boots, long boots. Anyway, you have any question for me? Tell me about your journey. Like, when did you start? When did you start, and have you applied anywhere? Have you had an interview?
Last month, I have an interview in Arkansas, ma'am, but things don't, wala silang reply.
What was the school?
Yes.
Which school was it?
I can't remember the school.
It's not Helena, Brinkley, Barton,
No, ma'am.
Lee County,
The
no?
principal asked me, and then he didn't reply to my email.
So
And then I disregard.
yeah,
Maybe it's not for me.
yeah, they may have gotten somebody else, but that's rude of him not to reply though, because I think it's just nice to reply, and even if just to tell you no, they should reply. Is that your baby?
Yes, ma'am.
How old is your baby?
3 years old.
She is so cute. She want to see what you're doing. Yeah. Hello. Kumusta?
Hello, baby.
Hello.
Hello, ma'am. Hello, ma'am.
Hello. She's so curious what you're doing. Yeah. But
Yes, ma'am.
so anyway, what were the questions that they were asking you? Do you remember?
Classroom management, how you handle disruptive students. May mga ganong silang question. Pero ma'am, may mahirap yung mga question niya nung
Yeah? It was hard for you
It's
to
very
answer?
difficult to answer.
Like what was a question that was hard for you to answer?
Excuse me.
What was the hardest for you, question-wise? Do you remember what was the hardest part that you did not know how to answer? Did you lose your audio?
Can you hear me, ma'am?
Yes.
Okay.
Can you hear me?
Many questions that they asked or the principal asked, ma'am, yung parang ang hirap-hirap niyang sagutin.
Really? Like what question was that? What question was it?
Regarding classroom management, lagi silang may follow-up.
Okay. So for example, do you remember one of them? I would like to know how they're asking it. So I can include that on my practice tip. So do you recall an example of a question and then how they follow up?
How do you handle disruptive students? And then they asked if you kapag sinagot mo sila, ma'am, may kasunod pang question yun eh.
Yeah, which they really want to know if you can think and you can speak English fluently.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. And so did you struggle?
When I answer, no, I don't struggle in answering, but later, anak ko, later.
You really want you to hold her or baby? Do you only have one child?
For ma'am,
That's your youngest? She's the youngest?
yes, ma'am.
Okay.
11 years interval.
Oh,
My
wow.
eldest is 27, and then 25, and then 14,
Wow.
3.
Wow.
3
Did you
years
change your
old.
mind and wanted a baby, or did you? Because there is no such thing as accident, they just God gave
At
us.
the age of 45, I give birth to her, ma'am.
Oh, wow.
The
Okay.
only girl. My
Okay.
3 boys.
It's a
My
blessing.
firstborn is a graduate of electrical.
Oh,
My
nice.
second is BEd,
Mm.
elementary education. I let passer, but he don't want to teach.
Oh, yeah? How come?
I don't know, ma'am. He didn't want to teach,
Huh.
even though he finished elementary education.
So,
He wants work like clerical work.
Okay. Well, he's got the degree. He'll be overqualified, but he's got the degree. He wants to be in an office instead of a school.
Yes, ma'am.
Wow. Well, there's
Because she only lagi niyang nakikita yung ginagawa ko. It's difficult. Here in the Philippines, it's difficult, ma'am. We have lots of paperworks.
we do here too, but I don't know what are the other paperwork that most teachers would do would be lesson plans, and then other.
Lesson plan is okay.
Mhm.
And how about we have many forms like SF1, SF2, SF5,
What are those?
SF9, school form.
Oh, I know, but what are they asking you to do? Like, what is
Like
SF1?
every month we have the attendance of the students, the SF2, and then the reports about the MPS.
What's
most
MPS? Oh, was
the
positive
performance of the students, the frequency of error in tests.
Wow.
During periodical tests, we have to make the frequency of error, frequency of correct.
But all those are done on by hand. You don't have a computer program that does all that?
Yes, ma'am, we do it by hand.
Wow. See, here in America, everything is done in a computer. So in the morning, when you do your attendance, you just click. That it is the names are already there. You just click if they are absent or present, and then they also have lunch. Who's eating lunch and who's not in the cafeteria, because they do have lunch here in the cafeteria, and so everything is, I guess, maybe easier because they don't have to do anything by hand. Everything is done through this e-school program. And teachers have been trained on it, that there's data about the student, like stats about the students there. All their data will be accessible by the teacher. So I can't believe the Philippines has not done some kind of digital format yet.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah.
Even our lesson plan, we do the lesson plan, we do the PowerPoint, we do our own assessment.
Okay.
We do our periodical tests.
So would that lesson plan be just the PowerPoint, or do you have to also do a written one about the lesson plan? Or do you have?
We do writing the lesson plan.
No wonder you think
Detailed.
it's hard. Yeah, no wonder you think it's hard. It's a lot of extra things and a lot of things that could have been done in a computer, so you can cut and paste things. If you have to do it by hand, you cannot cut and paste.
Even though we have the curriculum guide, we have to write the lesson plan in detail.
Wow.
The objective up to the reflection of the students, if they master or they got the subject, they learn the subject.
What do you is that the same at all the schools, or is that just at your school? Because the administration.
The same, ma'am.
The
It's
same.
mandated by the DepEd. We have the Department of Education. We have the format of lesson planning. We have the DLL, daily lesson log.
Wow. So they but is each Department of Ed, like for example Cebu and Zambales, will they be the same across the
Yes, ma'am.
Philippines?
Yes, ma'am. We have the same.
Whoa, that's hard. So the teachers that are
Oh,
here
that
already, they must be thinking it's easier paperwork wise, because some schools don't even ask you to do any lesson plan. You know, that you just have to kind of have a little plan of what page you're going to work on or whatever. You don't have to turn it in. So here in America, it's like depending on how strict your administrators are, because it's not really the same. Like you go from one school to the next, it's going to be different because it depends on who the principal is. The principal decides if they're going to mess with that or not. When I was a assistant principal, we actually had them turn in, like there's a Google folder and they turn it in. And one of my jobs every Monday is to go look, make sure that everybody has turned in their lesson plan. And the ones that I was helping improve because they're not very, proficient teachers yet or new or whatever. And I actually would read them in detail and to see what this teacher, is doing. And then I observe that teacher many times a week, because in different periods, because especially if they have lots of discipline issues or whatever, they cannot control the class. So they said 90% of your discipline came from about 10% of your teachers. So the same people would send you kids that are misbehaving because they don't have a good classroom management. And I'm sure that's one of the things that the administrators here are asking you questions on classroom management, because they want to know if you really know how to handle kids. Because if you don't, then you're going to be sending a lot of kids to the principal, and that is not a good thing. I always sent when I was teaching, I always sent the really, really bad ones. Like I just could not, I just could not do any more option because this kid just did not listen. I think I remember 3 in my close to 30 years of experience now. I remember 3 people that I sent in my whole teaching career because because I just handled it myself. Because if you pass the buck, as they say, to the principal, then they're not gonna be as much respect for you, like, oh, she can handle me, And I remembered at that time we still, and I think they still do this in Arkansas, that they have corporal management, that corporal punishment, which means they can be spanked with the permission of the parents. And I spanked those kids myself with you have to have a witness, so the principal witness. And later on I realized, why did I do that? Because if you spank them hard and then the parents would take a picture and look like you beat up their child, you could get sued and you could lose your license and all that. So later on I did not. I would just take, I think I did 1 or 2, and in the third one I actually had the principal do it. I was the witness and the principal did it. And the principal was nice about it. He would always call the parents, make sure that the parents are aware. And then some parents would say, well, I'd rather have my child suspended rather than be spanked, or I would pick up the child and I will do something, but he always made sure that there is permission. And I think that may have helped. And that's the reason why the school never had any lawsuit. Because if you have a lawsuit, we have some schools here that would have 2 or 3 lawsuits going on, which cost you money because you have to get lawyers, have school lawyers. Yeah. But I don't think in the Philippines that's something that you worry about. There's nobody that filed lawsuit.
Nobody do that, ma'am.
Here
it's okay here.
Yeah.
Even though you scold the children, the students, it's okay. Here
when you come
in America, it's
they're very strict. Yeah. There's a saying that says teach but not touch. Teach but not touch. Do not hit the child, do not spank, do not slap the child or anything like that, because that will just bite you. And you don't want that. You don't want to, you work so hard to get your degree and to get your experience, and then just to go to, go in trouble and go to jail or something.
Yes, ma'am.
And there's a lot of also like some negative things on the news about some teachers that are corrupted. You know, they would have relationship with the students, especially high school teachers.
Mm-hmm.
And you know, you see that there's even one here, I forgot the name, but this lady was a teacher, and she had a I think 17, or I don't remember how old when they started, less than 18, I think. And they had a relationship, and this child was actually a Filipino kid.
Hmm?
And then she put in jail because of statutory rape thing. She had 3 children, I think, already. And then of course they had her husband. And now they got married. I mean, she got divorced and then got married to this Filipino kid. And now they have more kids. So yeah, in jail. So I don't know if she's out or not yet, but I remembered, reading about it, that they actually continued even when she was already in trouble. They said they're in love type thing. But anyway, yeah, that was kind of interesting. Yeah, and that's a
It's
sad
their
example.
personal.
Yeah, that's a sad example because, you know, kids, we should treat our kids like our own biological kids.
Yes.
We don't do that to our biological kids. We do
Yes,
that
ma'am.
then, yeah. So what was your hardest challenge, like a kid that really challenged you? What was the most difficult for you to handle? Do you remember?
Based on my 7 years of experience teaching, ma'am, I don't encounter difficulty about students. Only the students' absenteeism, tardiness, like that. But misbehaving, no, ma'am, I don't have students like that.
Okay. Well, Annalyn, welcome. Annalyn, you're just 2 of you right now, Melanie and Annalyn. We've been talking about classroom management. Annalyn, can you talk to us? Tell us about you. So you have 7 years of experience, huh?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah.
Mathematics.
Okay, math. Now, did you start later? Like, why did you only have 7 years? Did you have another degree before that?
I work in the industry, ma'am.
Okay.
Hospital.
Okay.
As accounting staff.
Okay.
For almost 15 years.
Okay, you decided to go into teaching. What made you decide
Yes.
to teaching? Is it because the kids are in school?
No, ma'am. I want to change career.
Oh, okay.
From because we have a pioneer of the senior high school.
Okay. Well, hi. Thank you so much. I enjoyed talking to you. And Annalyn, do you want to talk to us? It's Melanie. Annalyn, you want to talk to him? I think I have had you before, Annalyn, right? You look familiar to me. But the thing is, I look at resume, so people look familiar. It might be from the Zoom, it might be from the resume. So that is the challenge. So I don't know if Annalyn has audio or video. I mean audio, because I see her. Can you hear us? Oh, Annalyn has her she has her audio and video. So I need to off. So I'm gonna have to I'm gonna have to ask her to unmute to unmute.
At this time, states also hire teachers or no slot for J1 visa.
Well, if you can find a school that would do J1, because not J1, H1B, because J1 is gone, then that would be good, because some schools get desperate and they really need teachers, so they will say yes to H1B. A lot of schools though are afraid of H1B because they are the sponsors. That means it doesn't cost the teacher anything. Like they have to pay for everything. That's what H1B is. for J1, you can actually do like either the teacher's paying or the, you know, sponsor is paying or half, whatever, you know, but you have to, it will cost you something unless you get lucky and get a sponsor, like an organization that would just pay for everything. But H1B, according to the directions, it's saying that the school has to shoulder everything. So it's gonna be hard. Yeah, it's hard to commit, you know, to spending this much money on a teacher. Because because on top
that's
of
why they prefer a J1, ma'am.
yeah, because this is like 4,000 visa fees or close to it, and then plus your fare, you know, to come here is another maybe 1,500, so 7,500. So that is 350,000, 380,000, something like that, is what they would have to pay for each teacher. Yeah.
Costly.
And so and so sometimes it's not in their budget. You know, you might find schools that have money, but those schools that have money are usually in a richer area, and they do not have any problems hiring teachers because they pay well because they have the money. You know, but the ones that are actually needing Filipino teachers are the ones that are poor and struggling, and they don't really have the extra money that they could spare. So some of them are even like hiring, and you have to be in charge of everything. You have to be paying for everything. But some of them are doing that. But then if you have a receipt and you turn it in, they have extra money. Then at the end of the year, they will reimburse you. So that's what happened. I think in Helena, that's what they end up doing, was they turn in paperwork and then they got paid. They got reimbursed, like my school. Yeah. But you know, a lot of times it's also because you may know someone there in the office that, you know, kind of really is an advocate for you, or you know, they just really, you know, want to help the Filipino teachers. So usually there's somebody pushing for you to get paid or whatever, because it's a lot. You know, a lot of people actually borrowed money when they left the Philippines, and then they have to pay. You know, I know that like one agency that was sponsoring J1, and I think they wanted $4,000 on top of the fees, you know. So that's what they charged the teachers. And then if you don't have $4,000, then it becomes 6,000, and then it's 500 a month for 12 months. So for a whole year, they're paying for this agency $500. And I do not know if it's a yearly thing or that's a one-time thing. I do not know. But I know that some people had to do that, and they have to give them like 12 checks dated every month differently, you know, so that they will just cash the check, you know, whenever that month came. So it's like an installment thing. But some of the folks that I know too have borrowed money, like their friends or their family. And hopefully you did not borrow from the 5-6 people, because you know, those are really high interest.
Yes,
Yeah.
20%.
Yeah, that's really high. So yeah, what if you have for example, a J1 visa where you have to pay, do you have access to somebody that could help you come up with the money?
Yes, ma'am.
Do you?
Yes,
Okay.
ma'am.
That's good, because now the pay in Arkansas, for example, is now 2.5 million a year. That's 9 months. And so that's how much you get. So you know, usually you get it paid within 3 months, possibly, whatever you end up getting.
I can provide the bank certificate. I have my FCE. I have my teaching license in New Mexico and Virginia. And then bank certificate.
Okay, when you
if
cover
they need
letter,
the bank certificate.
Okay, in your cover letter though, you need to add that you have your license in Virginia and in New Mexico. You may want to do that. So, hey Giselle. Giselle's a regular here. Thank you, Giselle, for coming on. Anyway, so Giselle, I might have you. There's Mike. Oh, there's Mike already. Good. I'm gonna yeah. So Mike, I'm gonna make you the host. Mike. Mike, how's your family doing?
Hello.
Are you going?
Doc, I'm with Ma'am Sheila Hylon. I'm here in Beaumont, Texas.
Oh my God, that is so cool.
Yes, ma'am. We just arrived this morning, and we left in Arkansas 8:30. Yeah, in 8:30.
Wow. Oh, Sheila, oh my gosh. Welcome.
Yes.
I'm so proud of you.
Later, Doc, we're going to set up the laptop, Doc.
Oh my gosh, Sheila,
Yes.
you were in Zoom and now you're in America. Wow. What do you think of Texas? Do you like Texas so far? Do you like it? Do you like Texas? Yeah.
Doc, we're going to set up. We're going to set out the laptop first.
That's fine. That's fine. But anyway, oh my gosh, Sheila. Sheila is what school was it that she's gonna be teaching at?
I'm in Dumont High School, under Dumont Independent School District.
Yeah. Oh my goodness. Oh, Sheila, that's so cool. Yeah, that's so cool to hear. Yeah.
Doc, remember last Saturday, she's still in Qatar, and now in the Philippines.
Philippines, yeah.
In the Philippines last Zoom, and now here in the USA.
Wow, Philippines to US, the US. Wow. That is amazing. That makes me your apartment looks nice. Is that your new apartment? That is big. Do you have people sharing with you? Do you have a roommate? You have one roommate?
But she's still in the Philippines though.
Oh, okay. How much is that apartment? How much is the rent?
It's 995.
How much? $395?
995 though.
Oh, 900. Oh, about $1,000. Okay.
Yeah.
So that's high
Also,
then.
you have dryer, a washer and dryer is a separate payment.
Ah, okay. All the utilities are included, did you say? Like the electric and the water is included, or you have to pay that separately?
We have to pay it separately.
Okay. Well, I hope that you do make good money because that's a lot. What was it that your starting pay there? Because I don't remember. I think Texas usually pays more than Arkansas. What's your starting pay?
$5,400 annual.
54,000.
Yeah.
54,000. That's 2.2 million. So no, no, that's not. No, 2.7 million. That's 2.7 million. And so that you're a millionaire.
Yes, her salary is bigger than my salary.
Yeah, bigger, I know. Mike, you better not move to Texas.
No, I will stay in Arkansas.
Well, that was so nice of you, Mike. Did you meet her in the airport or something?
No.
Okay.
No. She has a lot of states she visited when she arrived here. First in
Houston, I oh yeah, first in New York. That's the part of New York, and then Dallas, then Houston. Then in Houston, I stayed in condo, not in Houston really. So I stayed in condo for a few days, and then went here yesterday.
Wow. Well, you got to come to a bigger city then first, and then now Beaumont is not very big, is it? Like how many students do they have?
I'm not sure, Doc. I was not able to go there yet. I will be on Sunday. On Monday. I will go and be on the HR department and then the school.
Okay, well that's cool. Your priority would be getting your Social Security. So make sure.
Yeah, that is already the SSN. With my cousin there at condo. So at condo, they were asking, why were you here? Why are you here? So you are for 2 months. Because I am with my cousin, so she just helped me there to get an SSN. And no one will drive me here. Yeah.
Well, that is so cool though that you're here. That is so amazing. It always makes me happy to see folks that are, that made it. So you made it. If you look at all the recorded videos, you've always done a good job of like talking. You're very fluent and all this. So in my mind, I was thinking she will be one of those that will get hired. Because and so that's
right. Why, Doc, I'm so proud of her.
Yeah.
I'm proud. You remember, Doc? You're the one who accidentally mentioned to her that I got a job offer before. I'm not telling that to her.
I busted him.
Sorry. No, you busted.
Without knowing, and then a year later, a few months later, or a year later, now you're here. So cool. Do you have other Qatar friends that are also applying actively, or just the two?
Not yet. They are planning though, maybe next school year, because this year the school started already. So they are actually planning to.
You're gonna be bringing Qatar folks over there to you.
Yes, Doc, and the principal will kill us.
Well, Mike, that was really nice of you to help them, because I'm sure
Yes,
that you have really helped everyone there, that asked for your help. So thank you so much.
Yes, Doc, and will also send a chat or message to my former co-teachers in my former schools in the Philippines, because they also want to attend the Zoom meeting. And even I have a relative, a teacher also. I told him to try to apply, if not this school year, maybe next school year, so that he can prepare. At least he has already the idea on how to apply.
Right. Some schools would actually be hiring for next year already that way. But the problem with that is they're kind of holding you for next year. So, but sometimes that's why you continue to apply through the year, because there's some people that would have like accidents, or, some people might have cancer, or sometimes, they have to go to the hospital for a long time. And then they decide later that I'm just gonna, quit for this year or something, or retire early, something like that. You always get those situations. So I encourage everyone to go ahead and keep applying, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's true, Doc. That's true.
Yeah. Did you see the chat, Sheila? It says, Giselle said, congratulations, Ma'am Sheila.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
That's so sweet. Yeah. Anyway, so you have any question? Anybody here that's here? Mama Mardita is here. Do you have any question for Sheila and Mike? Because
the laptop, yeah. Doc, I'm with my family here.
oh yeah, hey. Well, that's a very nice family trip for you. Hello, you're in Texas, huh? How are you? Did you get a job yet, Mike's wife? Did you get a job yet?
Not yet, ma'am.
Not yet. Okay. Well, you need to continue to ask Miss Mills, Mike, to don't forget her. Yeah. So anyway,
we're still working for the.
You're working on it. Yeah.
I told her not to rush, and also to relax, because they need to adjust first.
Yeah. Well, you have 2 kids, so that I'm sure that they love for mama to be there for them because they're so new to America. So anyway, so did you, Sheila, how about the furniture? I know you don't have furniture yet. What are you planning to do for your furniture?
Furniture.
Yeah. We don't have furniture yet, but my cousin says that we will check the marketplace if there is a free. We actually got this table here.
Yeah.
In marketplace Facebook, and it's free.
Oh, nice. Yeah. There are always people giving away things, but for couch, for example, I would be careful, because there might be some bugs or
Also, she said that if we can, we will only have those free, but we have to check. Checking.
Yeah, go to Goodwill or Salvation Army. Those are some things that your charity organizations like that, because they usually are donated and then they sell them pretty cheap. Like you can buy a couch for $20, So, but they're usually in the hundreds of dollars, like a whole set is $800 for the whole set. And so, but if you can get it for $20 in Goodwill, that's better, right? Yeah.
I hope so. We can get that. Even if it's 20, it's fine. It's very fine.
Clean it up.
But it's much better.
How about beds, though? Do you have a bed already? You don't have any beds yet?
I was so blessed to have the cousin of my husband here. She is really assisting me, giving me things. I had airbed. She gave me airbed. She gave me a small of course, for dining, and a small chair, and then plates, everything in the kitchen.
Wow. They got you set up. Very nice.
We bought, the rice cooker.
Wow. Yeah. That's so good. That's so good. You got blessed and yeah, they're lucky. that you have somebody there that would do that. In a lot of times, you know, in schools that you don't have relatives, so you have like your teachers, your co-teachers, your principals, and all that would be the one doing it. I know in Helena with Maria, the superintendent did it, bought like new beds and all these other things there from her own money, not the school's money, from her own money.
Yeah.
She's just very generous, but I know that takes a lot, you know, it's not cheap here to buy brand new stuff. Yeah. But anyway, so I'm very excited for you that you're gonna be there setting up and doing your thing. So get us updated though.
Here yesterday at the apartment yesterday, because I was with my cousin at Conroe. So they bring me here with those things, with a lot of things. And
Nice.
yeah, and she said that's only the couch for me to have a complete only that. Yeah.
How far are they? How far are they from you?
No, it's almost 2 hours only the drive.
Yeah.
Very neat.
Is that
Then Mike Rocas.
I know. Mike, how long did you have to drive?
Almost 8 hours, Doc.
Oh wow. So it's 4 times Mike. Yeah. Yeah. Well, you have at least a chair there, I see.
Yeah.
That's the chair you're talking about. Yeah. That's but you know, in the Philippines though, we're so used to like, you know, parang cowboy vibe. We're just like, you know, we don't have to have it now kind of thing. You can just take your time because it's okay with us, you know. We're not fancy or arte ba. Diba? So I think you'll be okay. Unless you're arty or you're fancy. I don't think you are. But yeah. In what's the difference between your experience coming into Texas than Qatar? I know you went to the Philippines, Qatar, and then now in the US. So far, what is it that's different?
Whom are you asking, Doc? Ma'am Sheila?
Both of you. Both of you, I think, because you have the same experience. Sheila also, Mike. So Sheila, is fresh for you. What's the difference so far that you see? The difference between your journey from the Philippines to Qatar, and then, or you know, Philippines to the US. What's the difference?
Doc, this is just new. I just heard to her about pork.
Yeah. Baboy.
Baboy, the pork. I was surprised is thinking that a pork is not available here because in Qatar we can get it there.
Pork at the grocery. So when we were in the grocery Walmart yesterday, then my cousin asked, "You like pork?" Oh, there's pork. Oh, my reaction.
That is interesting though, Sheila, because I never thought of that. That is a pork, that the absence of pork in the whole country, and then here you can buy all the pork you want.
Yes, po.
We don't have it.
It is a Muslim country.
Yeah.
And pork is a haram.
Yeah,
haram to them.
so for those who, well, we can have pork actually in Qatar, but for those who have license.
Yeah, but it tastes different.
Yeah, because it's frozen. It's frozen.
It's not fresh like here. Okay, well, Sheila, the food is a big thing. That's part of culture. So yeah, so that's something you notice already.
You know, Texas is so hot. I know, because they said it's really hot, but it's actually hotter in Qatar. So when they said it's so hot, oh, it's okay. It's actually hotter in Qatar.
Okay.
It feels, yeah. They said it's really hot, very hot, and I said, okay.
You didn't think it was so hot because you were in the desert. Yeah, Qatar is very hot. So I guess Texas is nothing compared to Qatar on the temperature. Yeah. So what's the temperature right now in yours there? Do you know?
Yeah, here now is, ano ba? Wait. my weather is still in Conroe. It's not updated.
Mike should be, huh?
It's 24 degrees Celsius.
Okay, what is that in Fahrenheit?
In Fahrenheit.
Go Google it. Convert. You have to use the word convert.
Right.
Convert 24 or whatever to C to F. Yeah. Yeah.
How is
my husband's very good at conversion. Dad, what 24, Daddy, 24 Celsius, how much is that in 24 Celsius, how much is that in Fahrenheit?
24 what?
Celsius. See. 24 Celsius, how much is that in Fahrenheit?
Oh, temperature?
75, Doc.
75. Okay. 75. Okay.
35 rating, rough rating.
Yeah. Okay. So yeah, 75 is what the equivalent is. So yeah, that's not very hot, right? But you have to remember, Sheila, it's gonna get hotter from like in the morning, it's usually cooler. And then later on it will climb up to 20 more or 30 more, you know, for some places. So and now Texas is hotter than Arkansas at this point.
In Conroe, we had, I think, 90 plus there Fahrenheit.
Okay. Where? At Qatar?
Conroe.
Oh, okay.
No, in Conroe.
Yeah. Okay. So so yeah, so that's not a big adjustment for you then, right? It's not, the temperature is not going to be a big adjustment. Or
No,
something.
it's not.
I remembered in 87 and it was in 80s, it was in the 80s. And I remember telling my husband when I came out of the airport, I said, I'm freezing. This is so cold, you know, and 80. I mean, because I guess we were used to the Philippines where it's so hot, right? And that was, you know, I don't know, my husband said 80 or 81 or something. And that was not hot, you know, or 70 something. I don't remember. But anyway, to him, it was okay. But to me, it was very, very cold to me because, you know, because in the Philippines, sometimes we could be in 100 something. So that's the difference. But then when you see your first snow, it's fun. Sheila, I don't know if it snows there where you are, but I know in Arkansas it snows. It doesn't snow there?
It's only cold, but there's no ice.
I guess if you want to see that, you'll have to come to Arkansas. Yeah, summer vacation. I mean, not summer, winter vacation. You know, that Christmas break from the 20-something, 23, 22 to the beginning of the year. That's usually very cold. So you know, sometimes it would be snowing around that time. So that might be something you can think about to do if you want to see snow.
I hope so. I can be there. Yeah. Also, like Rokas, what he did now.
Yeah, Mike. Yeah. So Mike, you may have to do that, Mike. But by then you may have a car by then. I know, Mike. How long did it take you to get your car? How many months?
February, March. Almost 3 months, Doc.
See, 3 months you got a car. So this is July. So maybe by October, Sheila, you may have a car. You're getting paid more than Mike. So
I practice. I don't know how to drive yet. So
you don't. Okay. Yeah, you're gonna have to ask somebody, you know, relative or a friend there. How far away are you from the school? Your apartment?
I did not check it yet, but I think it's near. Yes, they're the one who look for this apartment for us to stay that's near the school. But it's, I think, 11 minutes.
Oh, that's not bad. And somebody will be picking you up and dropping you off. They've made arrangements. Make sure that you is it the school?
Again, Doc?
Is it the school that's picking you up, or is it an individual teacher?
Pick you up in the airport.
No, my cousin picked me up from the airport, actually.
Oh, no. Yeah, but that means that you from your apartment to the school every day. Who's gonna?
No. On Monday, it's our HR first, and then she gave me a number for a Filipino here, in the community here, for who actually have a transportation something. So I have to talk to her first, and have you know where the
make sure you pay, because you know how Filipinos, we always say, oh no, don't worry about it, but you have to remember it's going to cost her money to, you know, to do that. So always offer, you know, and in the you have to remember here, you cannot be saying no and then you really meant yes. You have to make sure that you say yes if you really meant yes, because they're not going to ask you again, Sheila. If you say no, they're not going to ask you again like we do in the Philippines. So so too bad you just missed it.
The land of free, but not are free.
Yes.
Yeah. Yep. But nothing is well other than, sometimes in marketplace there's, it costs money, right? It's not free, or it's not cheap at all. So anyway, all right. So what is your agenda for today? Since you have this weekend, what are you planning to do?
Well, I'm going to the school now on Monday, Doc, because my start is actually on 31, so on 31st. So I will be in HR first and then go to school. And since they allowed me even if I don't have the SSN card yet, only on they said that I will start first, and I will start doing the room. So they will assign me now for the room.
Yeah.
So there's orientation on August 4 for we actually I no I have that from elementary. So under BISD we have two. I mean we are two now here
Okay.
new. We have our orientation this August 4.
Oh, okay. Well, do you know if you replace somebody, or did somebody retire? Because or a new teacher, huh?
So they don't. Well, I was not able to talk to the school yet, to the admin yet. So I will be on Monday. I will talk to them for the
Because,
courtesy. Supposedly it was yesterday, but HR got sick, so she said, "So I will meet you on Monday," and she will be the one to pick me up here on Monday.
Well, I'm asking because if a person retired, you may have all kinds of things already. But if you are a new teacher, a brand new room, then they'll have to, everything will have to be bought, decorations and all that, or to be made. But you have to remember, you don't have to do it the hard way like we did in the Philippines. There's some Ellison cutter, and that Ellison cutter is like anything that's like a little thing that you could cut letters. There's already there's already some designs that you can do, so you don't have to do it by hand like you did in the Philippines. So there's a lot of new things that will be very new to you, but makes your life easy.
I will be for that because
Yeah.
in Qatar we do it on our own.
Yeah.
In Qatar,
Before you make anything on your own, you need to ask your colleague, one of your teachers there, said, how do you do this? Because a lot of times they'll be able to tell you maybe it's way better than what you're thinking the hard way that we do in the Philippines or in Qatar. So Mike, what was it how did you feel about like getting your classroom ready? Did your aide do that, or did you do it?
We did not start it yet, and the start of teachers reporting is on next Monday, August 7.
Then,
I don't know what will happen this coming August 3 and 4, because that will be our registration for the students for junior high and for Central High School and JF1, and then we'll know to our principals. So when we're going to start and what are we going to do with the classroom structuring, but the administrative assistant sent us already an email about the budget, the 500 classroom budget for that.
Yeah, you can. Yeah, in Arkansas, and I don't know if that's true in Texas, but in Arkansas, teachers are given $500 to spend on classroom things. So some schools do not give them the full 500 because they may take 100 off of that for the paper and other things that the teachers get as a common material. But that is what the budget is, $500. So who's here new? Is this Mary Noor? What is that? Mary?
Yes, po.
Yeah. Mary. Yeah, Mary's new. Right here. We were just talking, Mary, about Sheila over here. That's Mike's friend from Qatar. She just arrived from the Philippines to Texas. So Mike and family's visiting her right now. So that's where we are. So Mary, did you want to talk to us? Do you want to turn on your camera? Oh, your camera's already turned on. Yeah. Just your voice, just your
I have.
Yeah, there you go.
Yes, hi. Yes, hi, good day, Dr. Merlina. Yes, actually,
Hello.
this is my third. Yes, hello. Actually, this is my third time joining this meeting. The first and second, I wasn't able to pursue my application because we've got a lot of problems this year. Yeah, my grandmother died.
Oh, I'm so sorry for that.
yeah, just last May, and then our family business failed, and we needed to close it just
Oh,
this year. That's
oh,
why, yeah, it takes me some few months before to move on and
yeah.
pursue now my application, applying to US as a teacher.
Yeah. Well, hopefully you'll get your wish. Sometimes when we suffer like that, sometimes,
Yes,
God would reward us, So hopefully you'll get
yes,
that soon.
I
Have you
hope
had any
so too.
interviews yet? Have you had any
Not
interviews yet?
yet,
Have you been
not yet.
applying? Have you been applying at School Spring or in that web job postings that I sent you,
Yes,
yeah.
but then they're looking for my legal for me to stay there or work.
The J1 visa. Yeah, they want a visa
Yes.
sponsor. Yeah. So
Yeah,
so what you answer to that is that the J1 visa
for
sponsor will provide you that. So
yes.
that's
That
who's gonna do that.
okay. But then that is only for the application or registrations that I need to, they are asking there if I am legally the legal permission to work in US like that.
Well, so
And yeah,
okay. Well, your first step then is to make sure you contact one of those visa sponsors. And once you're part of their, part of their membership there with them, then you actually would be, because they will be the one to give you. See, you're not going to be illegal, because with a sponsor, they will take care of you. So you need to explain that it said that I have, I have reciprocity, my license in the Philippines would work here. And the visa sponsor would, once I get a job offer, that my visa sponsor will help me get my visa. So you have to have a job
thank you.
offer. It's like one of those chicken and egg thing, which one comes
Yeah.
first? But if what comes first is a job offer. So a job offer is your key in order for you to get a visa. So you need to
Yes.
explain that to them. So when you being asked that question, just answer yes. And then when they ask you later, just explain that. The J1 visa sponsor will give me the paperwork that I need after I get my job offer, your JO.
Thank
Okay?
you, Dr. Merlina.
Yeah, do that, because otherwise, if you just say no, you're in the no file already. You're not even going to make it to interview. Yeah, I mean, you're not lying about it, especially if you have the visa sponsor already lined up. So make sure you contact them, even though they might not have a slot now, but they can put you more of the waiting list, and then you get in if a spot opens up. So that's what I would do right now. Step one for you should be get the designated visa sponsor. I have links that are everywhere. I don't know if you've noticed the link that I sent, but you can Google it under designated visa sponsor. And then there will be something that come up, the one with the word bridge on it. That's the one. And then once you get there, then there's, change the program to teacher, because there's a lot of programs that from nanny to child, all those things, even exchange student. So you need to do teacher. And then once it pops up, then those are the list of people, of organizations that you can contact. I think what the common one here has been Mike, tell me what was it, Mike, that people have been using?
Which one po?
GEC. Yeah.
GEC, JCU.
Mm-hmm.
What else?
Green Heart.
Yeah, Green Heart po.
Green Heart, yeah. Green Heart will be
EPI.
API, yeah. API. Green Heart is like, they don't answer pretty fast. They take forever, but they have been used by a few here. So API, ITES is another one. So if you're writing this down, you look for that whenever you get, when you get the designated visa sponsor. So Mike, do you mind putting the link of the designated visa sponsor, if you can find it in the chat? That might help her. She can just copy and paste it to a document. That might help, because I have posters everywhere, and on the GC too. GC. Well, we need to keep encouraging them to apply, because there will be schools that need it beginning of middle of the year. And then those schools a lot of times are desperate. So they might do the H-1B for you. So I would continue to apply. I will not quit just because, people are saying there's no more visa slots. Because like Brinkley actually waited for a teacher the year after. Like, they did not get her that year, but then she came the next year. So that could happen for you, or a lot of times they anticipate that they're going to be an opening next year on certain whatever, and then they will hire already. So make sure that you do not stop applying. Somebody was saying to me 8 to 10 schools a day. that's a lot, but even if you just do 2 or 3, just don't stop, because also if you stop, you also kind of get discouraged. Like, you're not going to be in the mood already because you get discouraged and hopeless and so on. But if you continue, then, especially if you continue attending Zoom or being active on the ITSA group there. And I have been posting a lot of teaching materials there. I don't know if you noticed. Mike, have you been on the ITSA group? I have posted a lot of resources. So from first of the year resources. Anybody here that had seen it? Julie Ann is new.
Yes, Doc.
Yeah. Have you?
I've seen it, Doc.
Giselle, have you seen the those materials I have been posting?
Yes, Doc.
Yeah. So which one is there something there that you might be able to use for the first of the year?
Yes, Doc. I'm some of those, Doc.
Yeah. Which one
I'm
did you
going to
like?
use it.
Yeah.
I haven't memorized. I forgot, but I have Doc, because I'm going to download some of those.
Yeah. Yep.
What's that?
Strategy.
I forgot that, but I'm going to use it, Doc.
Yeah, thank you.
I'm going to recheck it. I forgot those.
It's okay. They have three of them are strategies. So those are things that are really helpful. Sheila, you may want to look into that, the strategies 1, 2, 3 video that I made for the reels that I made for ITSA, because they're step by step telling you how to do the strategy. And it also makes your class fun. It's not just sit and get or worksheet. You actually have them be doing things together as a pair or as a group. So those are the good strategies. And then I did a lot of like math about me. So if you teach math, there's a thing there that says math about me, and there's some template there. What the things about math about the student, their height, their age, their number of years they have been in that, wherever they're living now, things like that. Anything that to do with numbers. So there's math and me there. So you might want to check it out. I did some science too. There's science facts there about the human body, and there's some funny things in history that I put in there. So I try to cover all 4, although you can see that I'm biased to literacy because I am a literacy teacher. So I have more materials in literacy. But a lot of those strategies, though, you can use across the curriculum and across the subject areas. So and grade levels. So you may want to check them out, okay? That's why I posted them. Okay, anybody have questions? We have already started our regular meeting now. So those that were early, thank you again for coming on early in order to talk to us and sharing with us, especially Sheila, who just arrived here from the Philippines to Texas. So Sheila, do you have some encouraging words for the applicants here that are not in the US yet? Mike, is Sheila still there?
Sorry po.
Yeah, do you have
Yes, Doc.
Yeah, Sheila, do you have some encouraging words? Do you have some encouraging words that you want to tell the folks?
Actually, Doc, okay. Sorry. No, when I just want to share, when I applied in school, when I applied before, so there's a lot. I only applied how many schools actually, and then since our school at PSD, in Qatar, the schedule was so tight, so I was not able to follow up or something. I had my interview, yes, but there is no result until March. April, my last interview was April 5 with the HR in BIST, which I am belong to now. And then the next was April 10 with an Arkansas school. Then after that, I actually got busy in school, so I have no time. Now, after the school, I had this feeling that, I got tired applying actually. I got tired applying actually. Yeah, and I said, I will apply again after maybe after the summer, in the summer break. So after school, so I was thinking that when I will be back in the Philippines, I will be trying to apply then, because it was vacation then. But then, if really God, I mean, God is so amazing, really. God will find a way to work, which is actually the school contacted me. That school I did not apply actually.
Wow.
I really did not apply. Yeah, I submitted my application in a different school, but with the same district. Yeah, and then when I applied to that school, there is no. Well, I got interviewed with the HR from BISD, but she said the next interview will be with the principal, and I got no reply, no emails. So I was thinking to follow up at last May, but then I got shy to follow up because I think I will be, makulit. Maybe if I will be like that, so I don't like.
You think you
I
might
don't-
annoy them? No, no,
I
you
don't
should
like to
feel
like
that
that.
way. Yeah.
So I just waited, but then God has His own way. So just trust that really, because the school contacted me on last May 19th. They asked me if I will be free for interview, and I replied for on the schedule should be the schedule will be May 22. Yun yung ano. And then I replied, I received the email morning. I replied late in the afternoon. And the vice principal said, "Oh, May 22 is not available." But if it's okay for you, are you okay on May 23? And I just said yes. And that same reply, I also got a reply from the school which I really applied.
Oh no.
It's filled. And it was filled. So okay, it was filled. So also this is a different school. I actually forgot the school I applied to. But then, as I've said, the vice principal messaged me, emailed me if I will be free for an interview. So I said yes, but it's a different date because I replied late.
Right.
I got a chance on May 23. So then we had 1 hour, almost an hour interview talking to the vice principal. We just chatted. He was just asking regarding the classroom management and everything, the same interview was actually. And then the school, someone's
Just a minute. Yeah. Hey, Mike, do you please unmute everybody except Rita and me?
mute me first. Mute all everything.
Not
Everyone.
unmute, mute them. Yeah, mute them.
Mute everyone first.
Because we're hearing
Yes.
There, it's okay.
Yeah.
Yes, po.
Sorry.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
And then that day, Doc, 23, I got the interview then for an hour. 24, the HR emailed me. The HR who interviewed me last April 5. She emailed me that saying thank you and everything for applying. And since that school, I don't have the application, so I have to apply again for my the interview result to be processed. So it seems like that time I realized, oh, it's a different school, so I did not apply, so I have to apply again. So the interview first before the application. That's what happened really.
But they
So
must
if
have
it's really-
liked you. They must have liked you for them to, to do that.
I think so. That's why it's just trust God that God will really have, even if you have a lot of application, if it's really not yours, it will not be yours.
Yeah.
Really.
Yeah. And what, yeah, I think that's a very good message because, you always hear things about if a door is closed, God's
Yes.
gonna open a window or two. He's gonna open.
Yeah, because that time really, Doc, honestly, I got tired and I said, okay, I will have this full year for the same in my school in Qatar. I will stay in another year. I will apply the next year. But then the school reached out, and then that's it. May 25, I had my result, and I got candidate for hire. So I just have to submit the passport and the service record for me to have an official offer of employment. So I had it for after a week because our HR, because almost all teachers, I mean the heads in the school, are on vacation. So So I got my service record sent directly to the HR for after a week. And then after that, I had my offer of employment. And since GEC is full already, sorry, someone called it my phone. Since GEC was full already, and then it was filled, and say the J agency asked for a slot for me. So
Nice.
I was and we were in. I mean, the three of us actually, no, four of us.
You
So got a
lucky.
slot in GEC for that. So I was so blessed on that time. So that's why I said, God, this was really amazing. If it's yours, it is really yours.
Yeah.
And then I got, Doc, I got a pause when I have to pay payment time for GEC. Because really, it's so big when it's a self placement. I have to pay 4,000.
That's what I was talking earlier.
Yeah, and where will I find that money? I cannot find, and that time I was in the Philippines. And that time I was in the Philippines, so I have to think of where will I borrow. So the agency followed up if we have already paid, because the deadline is June 30 and it was already June 27. So I got stressed, so I don't have other choice. My friend actually said, okay, I will help you. Yeah, my friend from Canada, and he was, okay, I will help you. And the payment, no, it's fine with me as long as it will be paid. Yeah, and then I was so thankful with that friend of mine.
Oh, nice. You're lucky.
She let me use her credit card for that 4,000. I know it's so big, but I was so blessed talaga to have that friend po. So from there, it was directly na. And then, well, the next challenge naman talaga after that was the visa interview. And Doc, as I heard, as I read all those comments that if you have the visa interview, you will be asked, what are you going to do? On what state? What will be your job? How much is your, those are the usual question, right? But with me, Doc, I don't have that question. No. Yeah, I was only asked if this school is a private school.
That's all.
Yeah, and if I receive that's it. And I was actually expecting those questions.
So you're ready?
How much is your salary? Whereas I said, okay. It was really smooth.
Yeah,
it was really smooth. Yeah, so I said that was really, really for me. And then after that, the challenge again is the ticket, right? The ticket, and my friend again look for a ticket for me.
Nice.
That
friend is your hero. That's your savior.
Yes, as in, I was so okay. It was really for me. So that's why if it's really for you, don't lose hope.
Yeah.
Don't lose hope. Really, just try and try.
Yeah. Hi. The Canada, you can actually apply even if you're a J1 to go to Canada. If you ever want to visit your friend, you can.
Actually, I actually told her I can visit you now. I can visit you now.
Or she can come visit you. She can, because with Canadian passport, she will be, able to come to Arkansas or to Texas also.
Yeah, she's actually a citizen already there, though.
Okay.
So
yeah, she can come in and out of the U.S. Like we can come in and out of Canada. Yeah. Yeah.
So that's why for those who lose hope, don't be, because God will really find a way. Just apply. Maybe one of those schools will reach out to you in time. And just those hope. I actually, for those who would like to have it lesser, talaga, I actually advise you to apply in a visa sponsor directly. For those placement that is, the visa sponsor will look for a school for you, because you will only pay, I think, the insurance only. You don't need to pay for a visa sponsor. The next lesser for that is actually you find a school, and then after the school you find a visa sponsor. Don't look for an agency, please. Because it's really another expense, another payment. That's, for me, it's just that I don't have a choice, because the school has a partnered agency.
Okay.
I apply directly, but then they
Yeah,
have a partnered agency, so I don't have a choice though.
Yeah, but if you have a choice, you should not, because I keep saying
Yes,
you
yes,
should not
yes.
go to a third-party agency, which means that that agency is not on the list. The designated business sponsor, if they're not on the list, they're extra, they're third party. That means they're just gonna give you one extra money from you that you don't need to pay because you don't, they're not needed. You need your visa sponsor, not them, not anybody.
Actually, for third-party agency, it's actually almost, I did everything. I did everything.
Yeah.
I had an application for me. I mean, I applied, and then after that, what the agency so far helped me is to got me the slot for GC. After that, it's all on me.
Wow.
Even the ticket, the arrangement here, the arrangement here in the apartment, they had it because it's I am under the bed, so they have to.
They have to help you.
They have to. But then when I moved in, no agency, no one. Well, they should pick me up because I am under the agency, but then they don't have time. It's because they don't have time. I'm the one who booked my ticket.
Wow.
So since I'm the one, they don't know my schedule, so they have to have the schedule, and they have, I think, teachers to apply for SSM that time, so they were not able to fetch me at the airport.
Wow.
And
Well,
it's my cousin who really assisted me here until here at the apartment now.
And how much were they paid? The third party agency, do you know who did you pay or did the school pay?
For the third, no, we will be the one to pay for the apartment. I mean, sorry, for the agency though.
How much were they charging you?
3,850.
It's like blowing close to 200,000 pesos just to pay somebody that did not do much for you.
Yeah. Though, as in really, I realized they don't do much except for the GEC and the apartment. And when I moved in here in the apartment, they're not here. I was actually, I messaged him that I will get the loan for me to start here, but then they don't even assist me because they have training and everything. So my cousin really assisted me here. So
wow, yeah, that's a lesson learned. Yep, that's a lesson learned, right? You can.
Yes, that's why when someone asks if you want to really get lesser, apply directly to the visa sponsor, because you don't have to pay the visa sponsor program because they will be the one to do it. You just have to pay I think the insurance maybe.
But Sheila, the problem with that is visa sponsors will also not entertain anybody that doesn't have a job offer. So it's one of the egg things.
Yeah, for the GEC, they have the GEC placement. So that part, you don't have to pay visa sponsor. Although all not visa sponsor will have that placement on their own.
Yeah.
EPI has it. I'm not sure with Green Heart, but I know EPI and GEC, they have their own placement. So for that, you don't have to actually pay big. But if in case you will find a school, it's still fine because you have to pay visa sponsor. As long as you will not go through third party agency. Yes. That's the only thing that makes you really pay big. Make sure you have to have a budget. Although I don't have though. It's the agency, I will pay it here now for an installment.
Yeah. But that still costs you money. I mean, that's still about, if you're paying 500 a month, that's still about 8 months for you, 8 months. So, your first part of the year, because there's only 9 months, you're pretty much paying them about 500 a month, for that. So I hope they don't continue to charge you after that. I hope you're done with them. So,
my experience yesterday, I thought I'm really grateful with my cousin because yesterday when I moved in, I cannot move in, although they already deposited here the apartment. But since I don't have the history yet here, because I'm new, the apartment said that I need to double the deposit.
Yep. Okay.
Yeah. And agency was not here. I was contacted here, that I have to pay. I have to pay another deposit. And they said, no, you don't have to, because they said it's only 1 month deposit. And I have to, before the move in, I have to get an insurance. So my cousin really assisted me everything yesterday. I was so grateful. I don't have the money. I only have 170. I only have $170 yesterday, and she really gave me the money. Said, we bought the money order for, and then the drive going to Walmart or HEB. I don't have I'm new. I don't have a car. So that's supposedly the agency's work.
Yeah.
That's where the school, I contacted our HR in school, and she was, disappointed with the agency.
Yeah.
That's why she said, when you have any problem, contact me first. The HR of our school said,
Right. Oh,
contact me first if you have any problem.
Yeah. If you have a
She got
local,
annoyed already. She got annoyed already with the agency.
yep. But if you have a local contact, that's always the best, because if you're dealing with an agency that you don't even know where they're from, so they're not going to be able to help you immediately. At my
Although they were assisting, actually, naman, they were really, in fairness with the agency, they were assisting actually the other teachers. Yeah. It so happened that I'm the only one. She was actually, I was actually advised to cancel my ticket. Because they will be the one to get the ticket. They will get the ticket. And I think they plan to get the ticket, and I will be with those from Bahrain. So that I can be patched with one group together with those people from Bahrain. And I actually informed the school, and the school said, the HR school, I want you here early, and then she wants you to be with those people. And those people from Bahrain are not yet here until now.
Yeah, good thing you didn't listen then, because yeah. Wow.
And as wants us to be here because our start is supposed to be 31, and our HR don't like us to have a prorated salary.
Yeah.
She wants us to pay first.
Right.
So since I'm the only one, she cannot assist me. She wants us to be in group.
Yeah. But the thing with the third-party agency is they want to make money off of you like that. Plus, if you have them buy your ticket, they also will make more money off of that. So if they pay 1,500, they'll charge you 2,000, for example. So
that's the reason I want to have my own ticket, because even if I want to have that loan, I want to have the extra. I mean if the ticket, I only have the ticket, it's only 1,042 or 1,040. I get it for 1,040. So I plan that the remaining money will be my first year. And they will not give me that yet, although it's a loan. They don't give me that yet because they prioritize those who are coming. And since I say I will also pay for my ticket, that's the reason why I will also pay for my ticket. Although that's my friend, I have to pay.
You have to pay. Yep, you have to pay. So
honestly, I have $170 now.
Just if you do you have any Oriental stores there close by? Maybe Mike can take you while he's there with a car. If you have.
For now, he said yesterday, okay, we'll go to Asian store. There is an Asian store here.
There is. Okay, well, good. Take advantage of it while Mike is there. Mike, how long?
I will let him rest first because he drive for how many hours.
Yeah. How long will you be staying there, Mike?
Until tomorrow po, Doc.
Okay, so.
Yeah, later on we're going to Cleveland, Doc. Cleveland or
damay ang mga bata.
Cleveland. Because Doc, my target is to buy a hoodie. That is my collection. In wherever state I visited, I will buy a hoodie.
Okay, I did not know you have a hoodie collection. Okay,
yes.
Okay.
But I don't have the Dallas because that's the first state I visited, Dallas. Right?
Dallas is a city, Mike. Dallas is a city in Texas.
Yeah, Dallas, Dallas, Texas.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is the first city that I visited. So I'm still aiming for the Dallas hoodie.
Yeah. If you fly though, you might get it because there's always like gift shops inside the airport.
Inside the airport.
Yeah, they're higher, but sometimes they have a sale. But yeah, we're good to know that you're collecting, Mike, like that. I collect little bitty things, not a big hoodie.
Yes, po.
But yeah, Okay, well, I'm so proud of that, Sheila. Welcome to America.
Thank you, Doc.
And
Yeah,
good
that's the,
luck to you.
I mean, for those who are aiming really, don't lose hope. If you feel like that, just trust the process as long as you've submitted. Even if you lose hope and you did not submit anything, then you will not have result. You will not have your result. So just submit. Maybe one of those goals you have submitted will reach out to you if it's really for you.
That's right. If it's really for you, that's a good message. Anyway, thank you so much. I want to see this. He said, hello,
Thank
Professor. Yeah, thank you. Hello, Professor Merlina and everyone. I'm new here and I'm interested to teach in the US. So whoever wrote that, because I don't see the name here, can you please talk to us? Oh, there's the name on top. It's Jonas Makuto.
Sir Jonas, I think he's new here.
Yes,
Yeah.
I'm new here. Hello, everyone.
Yeah. Hi, Jonas. Nice to meet you. I'm Merlina.
Hi,
Tell us
hello,
about you.
Professor.
Tell us about how you found about us, about ITSA.
Actually, I found this through my sister-in-law who's working now in Arkansas as a nurse, and my brother in a manufacturing company. Currently, I'm a teacher here in Davao City.
Okay.
And with that, I'm very much interested to apply as a teacher in the US. It's just that even with, just to be honest, I'm a bit overwhelmed with the whole thing that was shared to me by my sister-in-law. So I'm really hoping.
What did she share with you?
The one with all of the details that for a while. I have it here. The relevant information for international teacher applications, how to apply to teach in the US and beyond. I think this is from you, I think, Professor. So looking at it, I'm quite overwhelmed with too many information. So
I'm so sorry.
Yeah, yeah. So I was hoping that listening here would also help me to start with the application, although it's already given here on the steps, but I really want to hear from the others who've already teaching in the US through this program.
Yeah, Mike is and Sheila is. I don't know. Do we have any other here? And it's nice to meet you again. And so thank you for attending. And I hope you already gained something. What did you gain so far? Did you get encouraged by Sheila?
I'm encouraged, at the same time I'm motivated. Although on the financial side, I may really have to find a way, but definitely going there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, this is when you find out who are your friends that are in the US or in other parts of the world, because usually they have the money or at least the credit card that would help you. So Sheila, that's a very good story that you have that maybe others can follow. Because I remember being in the Philippines. I do not know if I were in your shoes, if I would not have the money either. But I think we would have been able to approach my dad's boss, who is our godfather now, because we were so close to him. And so we can even write him checks from the US right now when we go visit there, because he's got a dollar account. So Charlie would have been my hero then, because he had the money. But we were so poor, there's no way that not any of my relatives would have the money. So it's nice to know someone that you may able to help you. Charlie loves my husband, he really likes him. He told me, "You're so lucky. He's such a good man," that you're so lucky to have him. And I said, "Yeah, I know." So anyway, so Jonas, continue to follow us on ITSA, the International Teacher Support in America, the ITSA website or Facebook, because I post a lot of things there. And feel free to email me. I wrote down my email on the chat, mcculloughmerlina@gmail.com. So if you email me like your resume and your cover letter plus 3 references, I will add you to my file, and I send this information to all the administrators here in Arkansas and other states. So, but mainly Arkansas, because that's my focus. I'd like to be able to visit you guys, because the farthest from me in Arkansas is 4 hours. And that's what I drive. Like Mike's school is the farthest from me from that end to go to another state of, Mississippi. So that's 4 hours. Everything else is like 3 or 4 hours from me if it's far. but a lot of times they might be 1 hour from me or 2 hours, and I drive that far. I don't mind. But other states like Missouri is close to me too. And Memphis, that's also just 3 hours from me, which is in Tennessee. So those places, I'm sending to administrators my file. It has about 300 something teachers right now, but you also need to apply on your own. You know, like it's on that first page, you just ignore the rest and look at the relevant information, look at the first page, and it has the www.schoolspring.com is a good source, because they always have application, you know, they always have job openings there, and you can filter it on the left side on what state you're going to go to. You can put all if you don't want to choose a state. And I also sent a file there that has all the 50 states, and it's got a link straight to the job links that they have. And I looked the other day when I went to those links, some of those schools did not have any openings other than like custodian or, you know, some maintenance folks. And maybe like an aide paraprofessional, they call them here. So I looked and see if there are some teacher openings still. So what I found was the one that I posted last in ITSA. I posted those because they are still lots of openings. Like I didn't post them if they have not more than 10 openings. You know, these are the schools that actually have a lot. Like Little Rock have more than 100 openings. You know, Little Rock is the capital of Arkansas, which is like a Manila in ours. And so they have a lot. In fact, last year, I was told that they had 125 positions not filled, which means that they were using substitutes. So Little Rock is a place that's challenging because it is in the middle of the city, and it's much more expensive to rent. Like Mike's place, you know, Mike, how much did you pay for your rent, if you don't mind? How much is your rent?
House rent po. The house rent po, the apartment, I'm paying 500, and then excluded po ang electric bill, and the water bill is free.
Okay.
Internet, own expense po. Yun po.
Okay. So the electric is running about how much? 200? 100 something?
It differs po daw. Last June, I paid 280 because the Intergy asked for a down payment or a deposit of 240, so my bill is only 40. Last May, then June is 76.
Good. So it's even before 100, less than 100, which means like that deposit you will actually get back whenever you leave that place. So make sure that you remember, you get that back.
Yes, and also for dun sa house po.
Okay.
You need to have the deposit po. But others, they have what we call the security deposit other than the 1 month advance.
Yeah. So because I am in rental business as well. I have some properties here. You always need to think of your rent times 3. Why is it times 3? Because you have that first month, and then the last month. They call that first month and last month, and then that you're there, and then your deposit, which is another month. So times 3. Some people, like, if I know the folks that are renting, and I know they're gonna clean my house or apartment, they're not gonna make a mess on it, I just waive the deposit. I just said, oh, don't worry about, like the last one, I just said, oh, don't worry about the deposit. I know you'll keep it and stuff. So I don't have to worry, because the deposit is really used for like when you leave, and if you do not clean the place, that's actually gonna be used to help clean the place. But if you leave it clean, then you get your deposit back when you leave that place. So just remember, if the word is deposit, you should get it back. Okay. Just like a deposit for rent, a deposit for, electric company, sometime water would also have that. So Mike is spending about $600 a month for housing and utilities. But if you go to Little Rock, it's $1,200, $1,500 just for the apartment. Okay. They do pay more. Like if I were with my credential, with my doctorate degree and my number of years of experience, I was gonna be about $90,000 if I was a teacher. Now, if I were administrator, there'd be $150,000, which is about 3 million something pesos. Okay, but as a teacher, I would still have been making close to 2.9 or something. Anyway, so it's pretty good. It's a pretty good pay in Little Rock, but also you have to also spend more. It's really handy though. Everything, I lived in Little Rock for 3 years with my sister. She was when I work at the Department of Education in Little Rock, she was only 13 minutes from work. And so I stayed with her. She was a single mom at that time, and with her daughter. So the three of us. And so I had a room upstairs in her, and I just like help her pay for her expenses. So I gave her $500, and that helped her with her, with her payment for her house, because she owned the house, and then or electricity, whatever it is that she used it for. And I also brought groceries. Like I just shared with, we never did say you have to buy this or whatever. I just saw the need, and I just go to the store and get it. And I just put stuff in her freezer, something like that. If somebody asks you or helped you like that, like my sister did, then you don't just feel like, you should not feel like you just you just take. You need to be giving and taking. Okay, so make sure that you don't just keep all your salary and then have somebody else to pay. In America, nothing is free. Okay, so it costs you money. So maybe Facebook sometimes would give you free stuff, but it's because they want it out of the way, and they just really want somebody to take it away from here. I don't want to mess with it. That's the free one, but very rare. Okay, and it's still good and it's free. But anyway, so just remember that there's nothing free here. So if you go out to a restaurant, for example, and I have to tell this to the teachers when they first come with me, I tend to want to pay because, I feel like, well, I make more money, so I should pay whatever. But that is my default. And that sometimes is at a fault, because I should have you become more independent, that we are both making money. So if we're going to do that, like we can take turns maybe, but you do not just do not assume that I will pay just because I've been here longer, I've been making more money or whatever. Don't assume that. You need to remember that she's spending money, and money here is in dollars. So you do not just expect that person to do it. So you need to at least offer to pay, your part anyway. Okay. If my husband is also in default of paying, like with 13 people, he would pay the whole 13, and that costs a lot of money, but that's what he does. And you also watch that, you have to save money for the future. So you cannot just blow it. So just remember that it's a give and take, not just take. Nobody wants a user. Nobody wants a taker. Okay. So just remember that. And I know you're not. So just reminding. But anyway, so Jonas, do you have any question for me specifically so far?
So far, I'm still good. I just need to listen to everyone, and then also do the scanning of the document as well. Thank you very much.
Just take the first page only and just look at that. Don't worry about the others. The others are just more extra detail. I'm that kind of person. I'm pretty detailed. So I didn't even realize how many pages there were. I just kind of put my thoughts about, questions that applicants were asking me. And that's why I shared all that. But yes, it becomes overwhelming. So just take it a page at a time. If you're in that step, do it. And I put like sample resume, sample cover letter. Those should be useful to see, that before you turn it into me, because I have looked at so many resumes and I have commented on it. Do not put your age, do not put your, if you're married or not, children, parents' name, your weight. Don't put all those. Okay, just stay professional. They want to know what degrees you finished, if more than one or whatever, and then they want to know how many years you have taught, at what level, at what subject area. And then do you do any extracurricular activities? If you coach, for example, I coach chess, because I love chess, and so I still do that, here, even if I'm retired, I just still did a community chess. But yeah, if you have to put that. Mike is going to be an assistant coach for badminton, or are you the coach, Mike?
The head coach of volleyball girls, senior high, the Central High School.
Yeah, that's a cool one. That's a cool one because to be a coach, to be the main coach, that's really amazing, Mike. So did you not have a coach before? Are you starting the program yourself? Is this a brand new program?
No po, Doc. But in the Philippines, I'm playing volleyball also.
So you know the
And also I'm a coach. I'm also a coach. And when I went to Qatar, I'm also a player there and also a coach.
Oh, good. So perfect, Mike. Because if you're coaching something that you love, you'll just have fun, and they pay you. Mike, do you know what they pay you extra? Do they pay you extra?
Yes po, I just submitted my my timesheet, and then I'm still waiting for the blessing.
Okay. Well, see that his school then would pay you by the hour, and what they
Yes,
used to pay you is your hourly rate, which means you're gonna take your pay. For example, if you're making 50,000, well, you divide that by 12, right? And yet that is your monthly, and then from the monthly you change it into your daily, and then that's where you get your hourly. So a lot of times it's $40 and up. 40, 45, $50 and up is what you would do. So 2,500 pesos every hour. So if Mike works for an hour there, he gets 2,500. In the Philippines, that would be like half a day's work, right? Close to. And so that's just an extra money for him. And then if you tutor, at the end of the day, the kids that are struggling, if you tutor, that's $50 an hour. So if you tutor for an hour or 2 hours a day, that's $100 a day, 5,000 pesos a day extra. If you do that 3 times, that's, $300 just extra. So that's really good to 15,000 pesos. That's really a good extra money, to pay your bills. So that's what you need to remember. When you come here, it will cost $1, but you also make good money. So anyway, who else is new here? Mike, can you scroll down and see if there's somebody that, like, there's a Kathy. I don't know your last name, Kathy. And there's
Merlina.
yes.
Good evening po.
Evening. Yeah.
I just do have a question regarding the coaching part.
Yes.
Let's say I used to be a soccer player and I assisted the coaching team in a different country, but then I don't have a certificate. So if I'm going to include that in my resume, do I
You don't
have
to
to
have a
make
certificate.
that I
Yeah.
have to?
You don't have to. You just put down there that you have coached, because nobody gets a certificate here. My
Yeah,
coaches,
okay.
they're not gonna have a certificate that he did. So don't
Yes
Okay.
po, Doc.
just put it there.
Yes, because if you're applying for a coach here, you need to attend, or you need to gather some certificates. The official website, or the official the group, it is NSF, SNF, like that, and you need to enroll for the Dragonfly. That is the official account for all those teachers, or those who coaches who want to apply as a coach in the different sports. And you need to complete some of the requirements, like seminars and basic first aid training, mental health, concussion, everything all about the coaching, the first aid, and of course the main sports that you're going to coach. You need to enroll, and you need to attend some trainings about it.
Yeah, but you don't worry about that until you get here, and the school will
Yes.
make sure you do it. So you don't
But
right now, wherever you are, don't worry about it. Just put it down in
Okay.
your resume, but don't worry about the training or anything, because the school will make sure you get the training. Like Mike
Okay, that's good.
sending him so that he can coach. Yeah, good question to
But
Joanne.
it is always better to put it in writing, right?
Yes, put it there,
In the
because
CV.
well,
Okay.
yeah, if you want paperwork, you can have somebody write a letter for you in a letterhead saying you have coached for so many years. That's even
Okay.
stronger. That's even stronger.
Okay.
Find somebody
That's easier to get.
yeah.
Okay. Thank
You
you.
can ask
Thank
somebody
you.
to kind of verify it. Yeah.
Okay.
So
Thank you, Doc.
yeah, you're
Thank you,
welcome.
Sir Mike.
Yeah. So Joanne Mike was really a good helper for me when you were gone, Mike. She's really a good assistant. Yeah. So who else? Candelaria or Anna, who else is there? Kathy. Who wants to talk?
Hi, hi, Dr. Merlina.
Hey, how are you, Kathy? Kathy,
I'm good, thank
what is
you.
your last name?
My last name is Nunag. Sorry, I forgot to write it there.
Oh, no problem.
I'm currently here in Qatar. I'm a friend and previous coworker of Sir Mike
Okay,
and Mom
thank you
Sheila.
for coming on. Yeah,
And
I
Mom
think
Sheila, yeah.
yeah.
It's
So
my second time to join this Zoom meeting. I'm actually soliciting some information. But I want to be honest with you, Doc Merlina, because I have three kids and I have 17 years old, 11, and I have one.
mhm.
So what I'm praying for and planning to is to wherever I go, I'll be with them. But I'm listening to all these stories, and I'm inspired also with what happened with Sir Mike. So I actually asked him if it's still possible for me to bring my son, which he will be turning 18 next school year. So that's just my very concern. If I will be applying as a teacher, I'm actually a graduate of my bachelor's degree, secondary education major in English, and I'm a master's graduate, English also. I have some experiences teaching kids, but not in a formal education. But I have also some experiences in teaching, very few special students, like those who has behavioral problems, a little in autism. But I don't have that certificate yet as a teacher to teach SPED. So just to give you a background of what I've been doing in the past.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's my major concern, Doc, is if I can still bring my eldest son there if I'll be working and push if I will push through the application.
I wasn't sure if it was 18 or 21. It may be 21. So he may be
Mm.
okay until 21 because when they turn 21, then they have to have their own application, not under you. So before the age limit, whatever it was, if it's 18 or 21, then they can just ride with yours. You can just put it there. They'll be J2. You're J1, they'll be J2. But if they're 21, they're pretty much like adults, they have to have their own. So they pretty much cannot be. Maybe, I don't know. I've never heard of this question, but I need to ask my brother-in-law works for immigration. So I need to ask him, but from my readings, from helping a lot of people in immigration, I always notice that when they turn 21, they have to have their own separate application. So I do not know how that works with J1 folks. See what they tell you about that. That's a good question, Mike, huh? Mike, what do you think about that question? Is he hearing me?
Yes po.
Yeah.
Also J1. J1 is if the daughter or the son is 21, she or he have to go home.
Yeah, I guess so po.
Yeah.
She
cannot
have to go home even if it's 19. She can bring her son. But then when she will become 21. She have to go home even if your J1 is not yet finished.
Yeah, so I do not know about that. I have to ask my brother-in-law because I cannot answer questions that I do not know the answer because I do not want to give you the wrong information. So, but I am pretty sure my mom had petitioned my brother and he has 6 kids. So there'll be like 8 of them. And it has been since 2012. So this is now 11 years and it's no response still. But that's a really big, big thing because there's so many of them. But I just remembered worrying about my nieces or my niece and nephew that they have turned 21 already. And so luckily for my niece, I helped her become a nurse. And so she's now a nurse and getting her second year of experience. So yeah, she's plan B. So if she cannot, if mama's petition is not approved and then she can get it through hers, get her parents, and then her parents can get the kids, that's a plan B for us. Because most of the time for the nurses, they do H1B. I mean, they will be in a green card path, So so that is good to know, right? That so 20, but 21 is the one that I think, but I could be wrong. It might be 18, but I just know it's one of those. So on the chat box, Jonas mentioned about the overwhelming paperwork that I said. I put the link on it, the relevant information. And that's multi-pages of things that you need to know if you're going to apply. So if you're new there, you might want to copy and paste this to your to a new document for you. And then that way for your reference, if you click on it, it will open up. Okay. All right. So, so that, I hope that answers your question. Who else has a question?
Thank you, Doc.
Yeah, you're welcome. Thank you for attending. I love your bangs. I remember you
It's
guys.
like
Not very many people can get away with it. I can't. But it's cute on you. Yeah. All right. So I'm a very visual learner, as you can tell. So,
Okay,
Dr.
Doc, I
Leah?
think is ma'am is she Joanne Chavez Bombales new here?
Joanne is new. Joanne,
Julian, sorry, it's
Yeah,
Julian Chavez Bombales.
okay.
Doc. Hello, Sir Mike.
You
Actually,
came
this
here
is the
before.
yes.
Julie, is this your
my
first time?
second time attending.
Yeah. Okay. Second time.
The
Yeah.
second time, but the first meeting I didn't talk. I
Okay.
just listened and listened to all the good stories, success stories of my fellow Filipinos. So actually, ma'am, I already applied through direct hire. I already undergone series of principal interviews, but until now, my time is not yet coming. So I'm still gaining lots of informations here so that when I continue to apply, maybe it can boost my confidence once again.
Okay. Well, I think that you know this link that I put here, the relevant, there's a link there on the practice, it's a PowerPoint on practice interview, and it has questions and answers. So you may want to look into that because most of the questions that you will receive is a form of that, you know, classroom management things and so on. I put down there how to handle parents that are angry or kids that are unmotivated or, you know, kind of lazy, but unmotivated or disruptive. All those things have been answered in that PowerPoint. So make sure you click on the links of that relevant information, save that link from the chat box, and then look at it before you do an interview. Because if you have a series of interviews and you did not get hired, there's something with your answers that was not liked. Okay, so if you look at that, maybe you'll see that what you're missing. A big chunk of the information that I always say is the 5 core propositions. And I think most people that are regulars here, they know this really well. That means knowledge of students is number 1 and knowledge of content is number 2. So if you get those 2 things already, so if you get asked a question, you think of a student immediately because that's your number 1, knowledge of students. So if you ask about, you can say, well, for example, my former student, John or Juan, did this. So this is what I did. See, you made it personal. Because if you just answer it without an example, even if you have to make it up, they're not going to be able to check. You just make it up. They say, this is how I would handle it. So you make it personalize it. And then your knowledge of content will be then your strategies. What are the things that I do in order to show these interviewers that I know what I'm doing? What strategies you're going to use? Are you going to pair them up? Are you going to put them in small groups? Are you going to use a gallery walk? Or, you know, anything like that, or some active. If you go to ITSA group, I have strategies 1, 2, and 3. I know that Joanne had looked at it because she had liked them. So anyway, so you look at those strategies and pick 1 or 2 that you like, and then use those whenever you answer. Okay. And the third one is assessment. So how do you know what you know about this child? So you can say the beginning of the year, I know that Juan really struggled with this. So I work with, his parents and all that with him, going back and forth with our communication notebook or our Friday journal, whatever you call it, in order to help him. Okay. And then the last 2 are rhyming, reflection, and collaboration. So we reflect, which means that you look at what worked and did not work. So I tried this with him and it did not work. So I tried this again. I asked I collaborated with the parents and the parents suggested this and I did it. And this is what happened. See, it's almost like a story. So when you're answering a question, always do that. Always kind of have a checklist in your head that, okay, what did Dr. McCullough say? It's going to be the 5 things: knowledge of students, knowledge of content. You're going to have to be straight with that. And then in the middle is assessment. And then the last two is reflection and collaboration. Once you have those checklists in your head, then you just answer it from there. You should do well. Hi, welcome, Abby. I see Abby. Yeah, I see Abby. Anyway, so new hair. My gosh, girl, I miss you. But anyway, so yeah, I hope that was helpful. Okay, so I want to welcome
Yes, ma'am.
the girl that became American on me. Look at her hair. Abby just went to the Philippines and visited. Anyway, Jolieanne, let me finish with you and then I'll go to Abby. So Jolieanne, so remember those 5 things, okay? If you're taking notes or if you get this recording, you might want to watch, because I know that Sinando, for example, really, and there's another one too, that they really believe in this, that once they use those 5 core propositions, your answers will become more, I guess it's actually deeper. It's actually more detailed. Instead of just a generic, anybody could use that. Like if you use an example of 1 and 1 is your student, nobody can just use that because 1 is your student. Or maybe it's from a movie that you watched, your movie that you saw something and you can just say, that's my student, whatever. You don't say, well, that's, Hermione from Harry Potter. You don't say that, but you can say, my child that was like Hermione, very gifted. And this is what I did. And so anyway, so yeah, if you do that, then it should be helpful. So when you answer the question, do you remember having something? Did you answer it in detail or did you just answer shortly?
Most of the time, I just answered it briefly and concise as much as possible, because I heard during a training in an agency where I applied, they taught us to answer the questions brief and concise, because they say that Americans doesn't want long answers. So, and that's why during series of interviews before I joined the training in an agency, I always answer the questions mostly in a generic manner. So I really did not contextualize it, that it's not personal. So maybe that's the problem why, although I already undergo series of principal interviews, my time is not yet coming.
Yeah.
So it's very important that
Yeah.
I personalize the answers.
Yes, Julianne, I don't know who did that training about being so brief like that, because any gorilla can do that. Anybody could just say that, I say that to my students all the time, any gorilla can do that. But anybody could just say that generic thing. You can take that answer and somebody could put their names on it. If they can do that, that means your answer is too generic. You have to make it your own. You have to contextualize it, like you said. Okay, so whatever that person that trained it, I don't want to put somebody down, but I just believe from all my experiences, I was a former administrator in the US, so I have done interviews myself, and so we always met right after the interview, and we never ever hired somebody because they were brief. We always hired somebody because that person really knew her or his things, he knew the strategy, he even put an example of a student, whatever. So when we did our deliberation, a lot of the deliberation things that we mentioned were the ones that examples, the contextualization is what we talked about, not the brief. Okay, so just remember that, kind of delete that from your head right now. But sometimes though in a big school, they may give you 15 minutes. So just don't go into detail that much, but always personalize it. Okay, always. And then always include the parents. Okay, or you might say the previous teacher too, if you want to know more about the kid. So anyway, and also include that at the beginning of the year, you always look at all the folders. I always look at all the folders that my children had. We had access to all the folders. So I studied this. I took notes. I have a notebook. I took notes of what this child I hear in 2nd grade got whatever, lost the parents or something, something specific about that child that I need to know. They always have a comment every year about the child. I paid attention to that. And I make myself a note that way. I have a cheat sheet already. Before I even met the kids, in the summer, I already did my homework, to get to know my kids. And so anyway, so I would assign 2 or 3 pages for that child. And then I go 2 or 3 pages for the next child. And that way, through the year, I would be taking notes right there. So when I have parent-teacher conference, I just go back to my notes. I always dated them. And I go back to my notes. And this is like, oh, I want to brag on your child because, on February, this is what your child did. really helped that, he really helped a friend and all this. So I would be like anything that's kind of like an anecdotal record, things that you want to share with a parent, write it down. And you do that the same whenever you're trying to learn about them, the knowledge of students part. Okay? This might be overwhelming, but that's
Thank you.
Yeah, that's what I did. And of course, being a data geek, I also have an assessment folder. So I also got their results from their test and I highlight, whatever the kids. So I also knew what performance they've had based on the results that was given to them already. So I would study those. So I have the data in my head, plus so I have the quantitative data, which are the numbers, and then I have the qualitative data, which are the observations of the teachers before, or they have a therapist, they would have things like that in the record. So I would pay attention to that. Okay, like if a child is adopted, like one this is what happened, really, this is so sad. This child was adopted, and it was in the record that that the child was adopted, but the parents did not want to tell the child. And so of course, the teacher did not know that, and the teacher revealed it to the child that she was adopted. And that was a big, big, big deal, because the parents did not want the child to know until she was grown up. But the teacher did that. So, which means that a lesson from that is communication with parents, very important. And you watch for those. Do not be giving away things like adoption and all this, because that different parents would do it differently. You do not want to be the one that will give that big a secret to your child. Like I busted Mike with Sheila, But anyway, yeah, it's a very big deal to know your students. And do not believe all those warnings that the other teachers would do. I would hear things like, oh, Merlina, oh my gosh, Merlina, you have all the three classes, you have all three of them in your room. All the bullies in our classroom last year, you have them. I don't believe in that, because they are wiped clean in my book. They're starting from fresh for me. I'm not going to believe that so-and-so was a bully in so-and-so's class. Okay, this child is new to me, and I'm going to form my opinion based on the facts that I see with this child. So I'm going to love this child just as much as I would love everybody else. Because if you came to your school at the beginning of the year, already have that bad preconception about your child, about one of your children or whatever, then you might not treat that child fairly. So I always try to, I note that, yes, I note that in my head, but you have to remember also the personality of the teacher. The personality of the teacher just clashed with the student. And the student and I, got along well. That happened over and over and over again. My sister and I would have success with a certain student that teachers did not. And one day I was explaining to her, what do you think that we did? I don't know what we did. Why do we have that success? And then we talked about it, and she said, you know why? Because we treat them like they're our own. We care about them like they're our own child. And that's what, that's how I came up with having an invisible parent. If you're going to get this child in trouble, have an invisible parent sitting next to that child. And then you will really, you will treat that child really, even if you're mad, you will treat that child fairly and so on. And you can say this on your interview. Okay, so make sure that you contextualize it, even though quick, but just get those knowledge of students in, get this knowledge of content in, and of course the collaboration with parents. Those three things, if you have to do those, boom, it's just 1 or 2 or 3 sentences, just very quick. Okay, all right.
Thank you for the conversation with me. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. You're welcome. Yeah. And you show your excitement. Like you see me, I'm excited when it comes to education, when it comes to children. You should show that. Because if you're just like, oh, I'm so bored. No, I will not hire you if you're doing that. If you show me that you're excited, oh my gosh, I can't wait. I can't wait to meet my students. I can't wait for the school year to start. And I show that in my face. Sometimes we forget to tell a memo to our face that, hey, face, show what we feel from the heart. Okay, so send that memo to your face, because it really would help you to get hired. You have a very simply pleasant personality. You smile a lot and so on. Show that. Don't feel like, oh, I am so overwhelmed because they speak English. All that I have to speak English. I have to have what do you call that there in the Philippines? Nosebleed. Maybe nosebleed because they're talking English the whole time. Don't worry about it. Okay, don't worry about it. You just need to. You don't have to use big words with them. I remembered actually in 87 when I got here, I remembered translating what I said in my head from Cebuano to English, and then English back to Cebuano in my head. I remember doing that in my head to my husband and to my relatives here. I did that. So if you're still in that stage, it took me 1.5 years to start really thinking in English, to start dreaming in English. My husband said, yeah, you were talking English the whole time in your sleep, because in my sleep, I would have the whole lesson. I would be teaching the whole class. And so anyway, so he said, no, Cebuano last night. Everything was English. And I'm like, I'm now thinking in English. And that took 1.5 years. So I noted that. So don't feel bad that you're still in the stage of translating. Okay, because we are English language learners. English is not our first language. English is a second language. We are ESL. We are an adult ASL or ELL. Okay, we are that. And according to research here, when you're dealing with ESL students, it takes them 5 to 7 years to really master the language. For them to really know English is 5 to 7 years, because their first year or two, they would know the social norms, they would know the basic, daily thing that you say, but they're not really going to get deeper in the language and really know until they get to 5 to 7 years. Okay, so as an adult, you may have to go through the same process, although it might be faster. Like mine was 1.5 years. I knew it because I noted in my diary. So anyway, so I write my diaries every day, and then I do journal. I mean, dream journal. So if I have a dream, I write it down, and then I go look I'm telling on myself that I am a little strange, different. But anyway, that I would interpret them based on what happens or whatever. So yeah, I do that. I would depending on how you feel in the dream is how my day or the next day would be. That's what I've always done. So anyway, if I had a bad day, I had a really bad dream, and I had, the person that I don't like that, would appear in my dream, it's really not about that person. It's really about the unpleasantness of your day the next day. It happened over and over and over with me. So anyway, okay. All right. Thank you so much. And Abby, welcome back, girl. She was in the Philippines for what, a month? And then she came
more
back
than a month.
Girl.
Yeah.
You like it? I like it. It's cute.
Yeah, I'm loving my hair too.
Yeah, it's so cute. Oh my God. What did your husband say about it? What did your husband say?
He has no choice but to approve it.
That's cool though. I think he missed you so much. Oh my gosh. I have pictures of him. Like he was so lonely looking, just really missed you. Yeah.
Yeah, I feel so sorry for him.
Yes.
I feel so sorry for him. So he said, when you go back to the Philippines next time, I'll be with you.
I don't blame him. It's really rough though, right? To be separated.
Yeah.
Even 1 week.
Yes.
Oh my gosh, it's so rough. I have been there. And that's before we even had children. I went there, that's 6 months of marriage, and I went back and I cut my vacation short because I missed him so much. I knew how you must have felt. But
that was the longest time we're separated from each other.
I did. Yeah. And then the kids are so excited. I could see their picture. They were so happy to have you.
Yeah.
She has 4 kids, you guys. And Abby is a story that I really like because I would not be able to do what she did, leaving her child at what, 4 months old? Was it 4 months?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Leaving that child. Like I was questioning, like, Abby, are you teaching this year in America? Because you only have a 4-month-old baby. What are you going to do? But luckily for her, she's blessed with really good family, grandparents, right? And she hired a nanny, to help. So I think that really is there is a way you can find it, right? If you're really willing. And then they got blessed with the, husband got a job in the school and all this, so they got double income. And then she has her niece here and a husband, and they're staying together. I mean, they're just so blessed. They're like, so they must have been living right. That's what I'm saying.
We couldn't have done it without you too. We couldn't have done it without you.
No, you would sell yourself anywhere, girl, without me. You both are so good. They had 2 offers, both of them, Leslie and Abby had 2 job offers. They had to choose, which is a good problem to have.
And ma'am, I went to Lee County yesterday. I visited my colleagues. I terribly miss them too. And I learned that they have a job opening for science teacher because supposedly there are 2 Filipino teachers who were hired, but only one accepted the offer. Yeah, the one declined it, I guess, in the middle of the processing. So there's still one job opening for a science teacher at Lee County.
But they're not any more visa slots though. Do they have a spot, a visa reserved for that for that person? Do they
I
have?
guess so,
They
because
have?
the other, there's supposed to be two, but the other one declined the offer.
Okay.
So
So
yeah,
so everyone, you may want to Google Lee County School District, Lee Lee School
their website is LCSD.
LCSD.
Yes.
.org.
Yes, ma'am. .org or yeah, .com or .org. I'm not really sure, but yeah,
LCSD. That I think it's an org.
an org. Yeah.
Some of them would do but I put it on the LCSD.
Is Lee County partnered? I don't know if they're partnered with API, but my visa sponsor was ITSA. And one of the teachers there is visa sponsor is HRC, if I'm not mistaken. But I don't know if they're partnered with API. Yeah.
Okay. Well, do you remember the name of the person? I wonder if she's one of our members.
Yeah, she is.
Who is it?
She is Miss. Her name in the GC is Amethyst.
Oh, okay. I remembered her. Yes. Okay.
Yeah.
There's another one too that got a job that I remember thinking her resume looked good, and she got a job and I forgot. Anyway, I have to look back on my emails. But anyway, but there are so many right now, by the way, that got hired. That's why I want to congratulate everybody, because they got hired everywhere, different states. Like we had people from Florida, lots of Florida. We have people from Washington, Oregon, North Carolina, South Carolina. We have them everywhere. I mean, I am so proud of the teachers that you really did it yourself. And Abby and Leslie, they're so nice about always giving me credit, but no, I will take like 1%. You take 99.
Yeah.
They did so well. There's Leslie. Yeah, these two of my favorite people here. So anyhow, so you're gonna come to Salem, right? August 12th in order to attend the wedding?
Yes, ma'am.
No, yeah, good. This BB would have been so disappointed if none of you would represent, our bunch.
Probably will be there on the 11th.
Okay. Oh, that would be awesome, right? And so Miss
Yeah.
Lisa is inviting us to go swimming at her pool. So I would like, because the 13th. So we need to do that. And she's only an hour from Branson, and it's gonna be a waste not to go to Branson when you're only an hour away. And she's also inviting you to spend a night there. So what we can do is spend a night there, go to Branson and all that. She'll go with us and then swim and just kind of have a good time. Okay. So she has, I think, 4 bedrooms. And so she's got 3 bedrooms spare for company. So, and she is like a sister to me from a different mother. She's my white sister. You may have seen Lisa. For everybody else, you may have seen Lisa Bailey. That's my co-founder of this group, along with my sister Mylet. I just posted one where we were doing a training in Little Rock. It was really her training, but she was asking me to partner up. I was a lot more of supporting her. She really developed it, and I just kind of added some things to it. And so how we did it was she would do the content and I would do examples. So I would say, hey, in ESL, this is what you do. And research is saying this, whatever. So it turned out really well for us. We didn't have very many people there, but they represent a school. Every one of them represent a school, and we're doing it although we're retired. I called ourselves literacy geeks because we both are retired literacy teachers, but then we still continue to do presentation, and they don't pay us there. We just did it because it's an organization. It's Arkansas Literacy Association. And so we had to pay for our own way. They charge us $125 to get in. We have to pay for our own food, for our own hotel, but it's okay because that's an honor to even get invited to present, because there's so many people in the state and they invited you. So it's really hard to say no, And so they already asked us, will you present again next year? And I'm like, oh, we'll try to come up with a topic that people would like. So our construction of word, vocabulary development is really our topic. And so, yeah. So which means ESL strategies would really work because, for kids that are struggling readers or struggling learners, it's like the ESL, strategies would work. The strategies 1, 2, and 3 that I put on ITSA, those are really good strategies. And I have mentioned those in our training. So Abby, what else can you share with us for the Philippines? What was different when you came back? Were your eyes looking at it differently, like with a point of view as an American? Did you do that? I did that.
The funny thing, I already have this hair color, and then I went to Southern Islands to buy some gifts for my friends here. So there was this little girl selling keychains, Cebu keychains, and she was talking to my sister-in-law beside me, and she said, "Ate, tag 5,100 na lang ni ate." Ana siya, 5,100 ang keychain. And I answered, "Dili lang." Ana de siya, "Hala, Bisaya?" And I was like, when it sank in, I was like, oh, what was she thinking?
You have the beauty of a foreigner, see? You're not mestiza. Yeah, you're not. I'm very Filipino, but you and Leslie have the complexion of somebody that could be a foreigner. You know, right? You could be a Puerto Rican, you could be, you know, Mexican. That's how they color their hair, and that's, you know, and they kind of look like us. So I would not be surprised if that would not be the only time, Abby, that mistaken as like not a Filipino. Well, that was a compliment, right? That was a compliment.
Yeah, but I just laugh at it. And when I got back here, I struggled again into speaking English because I felt like my tongue was I said, "Oh no, I sound crazy. I sound funny." Speaking English again.
Yeah, but you and Leslie have always been fluent, though. You were so fluent. When you look back at my old the old Zoom, you were very fluent. You like speak like an American. And Izora, you know, Leslie's daughter. Oh my gosh,
she
she's
does.
very fluent. That's why she's beating all these Americans on their literacy grades. She's wiping everybody out. But anyway, so how about your kids, though? You have 4 kids. So how are they? I mean, what's your plan on bringing them here?
My eldest daughter's paper actually has arrived, her DS 2019. However, it was so late that I just have to live without her because I still have to set an appointment for her for the visa interview and that. So it was kind of late and there's no time. I have to get back here. And then I already have my other kids' passport. I got them when I got there. And then I have their birth certificate ready so that I could just apply anytime. And hopefully, by God's grace, next year, we could bring all of them here.
Yay! That's
except the youngest one, except because I'd been needing a babysitter for him.
Okay, yeah, because the kids will be going to school, right? But maybe you'll find somebody like a mother of a teacher. You need to find that because I hate for your youngest too. She needs the most love right now.
Yeah.
Bonding time with her. So you might be able to find like look out for somebody you trust there and see if they have a mother or some relative that would watch the child. Like my mom watched like 4 of my co-teachers' kids. And I loved it because Stephanie, the limit is 5. You have to have a license after 5. So Stephanie didn't count because that's her granddaughter. And so she had some playmates her age. So that was really good. And that's good for my peers because they didn't have to worry because they know my mom will take care of their children. They became rice addicts though, because mom was feeding them rice all the time. So they would come home and say, "Mama, I want some rice," you know, from Miss Terry. It was rice with chicken. And so my colleagues were asking me, "Merlina, how do you exactly fix the rice and how do you fix the chicken?" Because our kids are like coming home and was not happy with our food anymore, was wanting some rice. So you turn them Asians. But yeah, it's really a good idea, Abby, to like bring her. I mean, I don't want to push my ideas to you, but I'm talking as a mother that some people would actually do the opposite. They would actually bring the youngest first and then leave the older ones at home, with somebody. But just because they need you at this time.
Yeah.
Teenagers will need you too, but at least you have years with them already.
Yes.
Yeah. And so anyway, but that's just me. That's my that opinion plus 25 cents cannot buy coffee in the That's saying here. Yeah, you can buy, so what matter is you and Alvin's opinions, what you're going to do for your family. But if the babysitting is the issue, I think you can solve that by just people you trust. If you do not like the daycare, because daycare is like maybe $8 an hour, or some of them would actually charge per day. You can afford that just by your extra money on tutoring. Think of it that way. It's like, oh, that's only a third of my money from tutoring, and I paid that for my daycare.
Oh, I
Yeah.
actually transferred to Barton, but I don't think they have tutoring too. So
Oh, they don't. Oh, okay.
yeah.
You can always make money though, because I actually have a friend, Mr. Nelson, that's wanting to get some teachers for tutoring online. So I can get you hooked up with that if you want.
Yeah.
I want to find out how much, because at one time he was mentioning 30 an hour, and I said that's too low, because they're getting paid like 50 an hour. so I'm negotiating for my teachers. Yeah. So when we get there, I will make sure that I would recommend you. I will recommend.
Yay. Thank you, ma'am. Leslie and I think Leslie would love it too.
Yep, you and Leslie for sure. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. So Leslie, how do you
Yes.
feel like having the partner over there in your place again? Your partner in progress.
Well, I was like telling her, please come home. We're not mad at you anymore.
Yeah, that's a long time to be gone.
That's a long time. And when she came in, oh, I was so jealous of her hair, everything. She's so pretty when she came in. I'm like, I have to go back home and fix my hair.
You can do that here too. You can do that here. It's about,
it's expensive.
About $60 here.
Yeah,
so,
it's
how
really
much is it in the
expensive.
Philippines, if you don't mind? How much is it?
I paid 2,500 for this.
Close. That's about that. Yeah. That's very
If
close.
you see her in person, ma'am, she's really, she's gotten really, I mean, she's pretty already, but she's gotten really prettier. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
You should have seen her in
both
person.
of you, inside and out. Yeah. So anyway, yeah. So anyway, that's so exciting though. That
Thank you, but
yeah. Yeah. Kids, I'm sure, Leslie only got one kid, and that is Izora.
Yes.
Izora seems to be thriving here, right? She's really enjoying it.
Yeah, I have talked to 2 locals already, and they said, well, you're good in English, but your daughter, she speaks like a local. And I'm like, yeah, I know.
I said that the first conversation I had on the phone, remember? I said, oh my God, your daughter is so fluent. Yeah. So
she is. And then I just learned yesterday that I was with her teacher, 4th grade teacher, when I was in a training for 3 days in Hot Springs. I was with Sir Mike. And then so I was with the training, and then her teacher told me, I got my referral ready for Izora because I want to transfer her to GT. I'm like, and they're just observing her as of the moment, and I think they're gonna do it, but I'm like, I'm fine if she's in GT or not, because I don't want her to to feel like she's
no pressure.
I mean, the pressure the pressure of being in a GT class is really like, I don't want her to feel that way.
Don't put that
but
pressure.
I'm just happy. I'm just happy that they thought about it, but I really told them that I'm like, for me as a mom of a child that's not really from in here, I just don't want her to put in a much, difficult environment, but because that will be, I don't know if she can handle it. And I'm just happy that she's here and she's happy in her regular class. So
but I think
fine.
I think she needs to be challenged though, because both of my kids, I raised gifted kids. So both of them were GT means gifted and talented. And the test, by the way, is going to be hard. Like Stephanie said, Mom, that my classmates did not pass the test because when they're given, for example, a circle, Mom, they just made it into a ball. Well, I made mine to be like a part of a cup, something like that. And if you are asked about a cup, do not use it as a noun, use it as a verb. Think outside the box, lose the box. And so those are the things that she needs to do. So do not do it like a regular kid would do. Do it like above and beyond. Yeah.
Yes, ma'am.
Change.
So I'm just happy with that information, but I'm not really like I'm just trying. We're just trying to live our lives in here and enjoy the moment, And well, I would just like to. I wasn't able to came in early with the Zoom meeting because I woke up late, and I came home yesterday around 4. And I don't know, it's Sir Mike, but Sir Mike, I think, woke up early. I'm really exhausted with everything that we did for the past 3 days. But I just got from a training, and it's all about special education, and we're now moving into inclusion. So I'm really happy because that's what I'm gonna be doing this school year in the
That's high school,
elementary,
in
and
the
I'm gonna be with
elementary.
my aunt.
Yeah.
So that will be so now I'm not gonna be in the high school anymore, and that makes me so excited, and I'm gonna be with my aunt, and that's another exciting thing for me to work with her. So that's
Yeah.
gonna be so nice.
And yeah.
Also, well, I just want to share because I'm here to share because I think that's my purpose. Share to everybody. Well, the thing that you said a while ago that you just want to take 1% credit, I think it's the other way around. Because well, I'm not that fluent right now, but when I first started in this Zoom meeting, it was February of last year. I can still remember that one. But I can still remember that I was so nervous of speaking to Dr. Merlina McCullough because she sounded like a local, and I'm like, I don't think I can teach in America. But I'm not fluent, right? I'm not that fluent right now. I'm not excellent in English, but this is not how I spoke when I first talked with her in the Zoom meeting. I sounded really nervous and I was grasping for words. I'm like, what should I say next? And I was also translating things in my head. And then what I did was I just attended all the Zoom meetings every Friday, and that I think that's one of the main reasons why I was hired. And every Zoom meeting, I just listen to her talk about how to become a teacher in America. What are the things that you need to learn to be an effective teacher in America? And that's how it started, and it got me here. And
Yeah,
so
well,
it was like I was about to have. I mean, I and my aunt were about to have an interview. It was already 1 in the morning in here in America, and then it was like 12 noon in the Philippines, and we were trying to like, should we send her an email to inform her that we're gonna have an interview tomorrow? And so we just tried, and then we were so surprised because she was awake during that time, and she said, do you want to have a practice interview with me right now? And I'm like, oh my god, she's still awake. So we had a mock interview with Dr. Merlina, and the rest was history. We aced all the interview. We did well, and no, it was not because of us. It was because of her. Because the mock interview, we were lost. Like we didn't know what to do. We didn't know what should we say. Like this is unexpected. These questions are unexpected. We didn't know that it will be asked. But then when we had our interview, well, those questions were asked, and just like what Dr. Marina said. Well, you can give generic answers. I did give generic answers, but I backed it up with my own experiences. I included my home visitations, my anecdotal records that I had in my classroom. The feeding program that we had in my school, the gardening things that I did in my school. And I did not talk a lot about myself. I talked a lot about my kids. What did I do with the kids? That's what we did, and I think that's what my aunt did too. And so that's why we aced all the interviews that we had. So just be natural and just
relax.
Just
Relax.
tell the things that you are doing just relax. And I think I recorded my phone is in the Philippines, the one that I took. I recorded my interview.
Oh, you did?
And then so my sister listened, and she said, and then my sister listened and she said, Ate, you sounded like you're just like talking to them as if they were your friends. Because they seemed like my friends, and I was just smiling and I was just happy because I was nervous, but I was excited at the same time. Yeah. And I did not go, I mean, I want to be hired, but during that interview, I will just try my best. And if they will hire me, that's really okay. That's really a great news. But if they will not, at least I've tried.
Right.
Don't put too much pressure on yourself because that's going to affect the way that you will answer the interview.
That's right.
Just be calm and always pray big and worry small. That's it.
That's right. I would say, God, I did my best. Please do the rest, right?
Yes, ma'am. That's it.
Thank you so much for those tips. These are amazing. I think that you hit it right, the nail on the head, that you just look like you're visiting with them. If you're in that situation, that means that you've answered it well. You know why? Because the amygdala part of our brain, I love brain research, the amygdala part of our brain, which is the emotions, are going to be blocking all the things that you could have said if you are nervous. Okay. And that's why in our classroom, if the kids have problems at home, like somebody went to jail or somebody died or whatever, they're not going to learn until you take care of that feelings part. Send them to the counselor, let them talk to the counselor, whatever, take care of that, because the learning will come later after the emotional part. If they don't feel the love and security, they're not going to go to the other level, Maslow's. Okay. So yeah. So anyway, so yeah, you did a very good job with those steps. Those are going to be useful. Right?
Yes, and I also want to add, ma'am, like I was also one of those teachers who was so worried about, coming to America, because I've heard a lot of, about the things that you will be encountering here in America. But well, I won't. It's not a walk in the park, okay? But once you get here, and you will have all the support that you needed. I mean, you have Dr. Merlina, you have all the people. I mean, you have to communicate with the people around you. I mean, with your principal, with the teachers, you have to do that. And well, you don't be demanding. Just tell them how you feel. Just be humble all the time and tell them how you feel, and they will really, really help you. And I'm just a lucky one because Dr. Merlina is with me. She's with me once a month in my classroom. She's in my class, and she did mentoring and all of that. And so don't worry about it. Well, you will struggle the first few months. I cried when I was talking to Dr. Merlina, but I was able to, because I was not a high school teacher in the Philippines. I was an elementary teacher for almost 10 years. And so when I got here, they placed me in the high school, which is not my field of expertise. Yeah. So I was really struggling, but the same thing with my aunt. I was working with my aunt in the Philippines for 11 years as an elementary school teacher. And she was also placed in the high school, but we did it all because I had some help. I did not do it by myself. It takes a village.
You and Abby were placed in the same situation, and you both came out of it like stronger, as teachers. Abby, and Leslie, your school just signed a contract that they will do it again this year. So I will be there every month.
Yay!
And Clarendon just hired me for twice a month. And so I don't know about Brinkley and Helena yet.
I'm sorry to interrupt, but I heard from Miss Tina Morrow that she talked to somebody from Clarendon and learned that the Filipino teacher who just arrived actually cried during her first few weeks, I guess, or first week, because she felt like
alone.
Yeah, alone, and she has nobody to talk to, or she has no one she knew. So I felt really bad and sorry for her. So
let's go visit
I
her.
really wanted to talk.
Yeah. Next week, let's go visit her. I'll go. I have a with her, but it won't start till August, but that's okay. We'll go visit her, just kind of make her feel like a part of the, community, because right now she's like alone. There's no.
She is. And she has no one. She has no one.
No, she's got Dr. Ellis is a very caring. Dr. Ellis has been helping her. She's the financial person there, and she has been, she waited, Betsy, this is her name. And she had helped her all year long because she was hired last year and did not get here until this year. And so they really waited for her. Like they could have dropped her and they didn't. And she was the one. Dr. Ellis was like, no, we've already done so much with her. We're going to stay with her. Yeah, because they could have easily hired somebody else.
Yeah.
Because and I'm going to tell her that. And so maybe she'll feel better after I see her. And I will.
Yes, ma'am. Because I can really remember when we got here, and we have, though we have some Filipino friends already there, but when we got to see you, we were like, oh my God, it's like an angel sent from above. You just don't know how we felt when we saw you.
They didn't have a phone. They were like acting like I was this savior over here, and a heroine. They're so funny. But anyway,
you are.
We need to be that again for Betsy, okay?
Because
I didn't realize. I wish. Let me contact her and see if we could get her contact information, because we really need to. I need to talk to her this weekend already, and then maybe
yes, ma'am.
Week, yeah. So anyway, yeah, her school has already committed. Brinkley said that it will be passed it will be submitted for the board in August. And then Helena, I do not know, Miss Mills was going to check on it. So hopefully all schools will be there plus Clarendon. So I'll have 4 schools. So yeah, so that's cool because I get to see them. You know what they do, this Abby and Leslie, they feed me my chicken soup favorite every time I go there, and they're such good cooks.
Leslie is. That's her
I always
specialty.
eat with them when I go. So, it's like, okay, this is the night for Leslie and Abby and family. I get to see them. So, and sometimes my friend BB, who is a massage therapist, would come with me every other week and they get massages. So they're spoiled. So, yeah, and BB is like half price. So, so anyhow, all right. Well, thank you so much. I do not know, if anybody else had a question. Abby, you have any last message? Leslie, you have any last message for those that are new? Because we have some here that are just got here and first time meeting in Zoom. They're very new. And so Abby and you, Abby and Leslie, you have 1 year in your belt. So is Mike. So if you have anything at all that you have, Sheila's just arrived. So you kind of got that covered. The one that just got here and the one that's been here. Because yes, that is true that the first month you will see a lot of crying because of the adjustment, and that's called culture shock. Okay, culture shock is not imagined, it's actually real because you are shocked about all the differences, from the language to the food. Lucky for them that they live close to Memphis and they can just go to Cordova and get all this food, like Philippine, groceries. But some places, and maybe Betsy has not even done that. So she may be really struggling with the food part because if she did not bring groceries with her, some people would bring sardines and all this stuff with them, and then, dried fish and so on. And they would go with that for the first month. And then until they can go to the grocery store, she may have not done that either. So what we can do is go take her to Cordova. Hey, there's a Cordova trip. So anyway, so yeah, we can take her and then get her groceries and things. So anyway, she just arrived a few days ago. I think 19th, July 19th.
Okay.
This is the 29th, 10 days. So she's been there 10 days. I can't believe they didn't call me. I just forgot. I can't believe they did not. Like usually the superintendent would call me like on the way from the airport. They would say, hey, Merlina, you want to talk to so-and-so? She hasn't. They must have been busy. They started with school and so on. I'm sure that they tried to get her ready for school, getting her classroom ready and so on. So yeah, she is very overwhelmed. So if she wouldn't mind, when I get her information, I might share it with you guys. And will you please, Clarendon, I don't know how far is it from Helena. Do you know?
I think it's close to Brinkley.
Yeah, so it's only like maybe less than an hour. So if she's okay with it, before I get there, I wonder if you all could visit her. And that way, that's asking too much of you, but this is you're paying it forward, remember? I don't charge, but you need to also help somebody else. Yeah. So if you can do that for her, because I hate to hear that I feel bad because I should have also contacted Dr. Ellis, but her life happens. So it's been so hectic here. So
yeah.
Anyway, yeah. So thank you again so much. I'm really running out of topics, but anyway, if anybody at all would ask a question to Abby, to Leslie, to Sheila, to Mike, and Joanne, if you have any other ideas, and Joanne's always full of really nice ideas. Just make sure that you check the ITSA. I know that Abby and Leslie have checked on it because they've been liking the stuff that I posted, because I posted a lot of first of the year things that you can use, from strategies to math and me to science to social studies, history, all those things. I try to cover the main subject areas. So if there are other subject areas you want me to cover, just let me know and I will, because when I'm bored, I'm like, what can I do? Let me do what real. This morning I woke up and I'm like, oh my God, the flowers are so pretty. Some of them are really blooming big. So I have to go down there and, I have 20 minutes before the Zoom starts. So I'm like over there taking pictures. Dwayne said, what you doing? I'm like, well, these are just so pretty not to have a reel on. So guess what the next reel is? Flowers. Yeah. So anyway, okay. So Leslie and Abby, thanks again. I appreciate you so much. And so anybody else? I see Candelaria. I see
Dr. Merlina, there is also one who's new, Australia Mejos.
Yes,
If she
yes,
would like to share, that's fine
so
also.
much. Yes.
We have also one, I think Miss Mary Noor is also ready.
Okay, so Australia and
whoever is
Mary.
ready.
Thank you so much. Yes.
Miss Mary, would you like to be the first? Miss Mary?
Yes, hello.
If you'd like to be, would you like to be the first one to
Yeah, she
introduce
talked
yourself,
earlier, but
Dr.
yeah, she can
Merlina?
continue. Yeah.
Okay, go, go, doctor.
Go, Mary. Go, Mary.
Okay, go, Mary.
Yes. Yes. Hi. Good day to all of you. Good day to Dr. Merlina and who are in the America already and here. Good evening. Okay. By the way, I graduated Bachelor of Science in Elementary Education with specialization of early childhood education, and also I have 33 years of graduate studies, a master in educational management. That I have the working experience of teaching as ESL teacher, but that is only for 4 months since I needed to took up my licensure examination. But then when I passed, I applied as a licensed professional elementary teacher here in the Philippines in one of the public school where I am teaching until now for 12 years already.
Okay.
Yeah, and then 12 years, and yeah, I handle different subjects as well as different grade level too, from kindergarten to fourth grade pupils. Yeah,
Okay.
that's yeah, and yeah, that's all.
Okay, you might want to end up with why do you want to come to Arkansas, or to the area, to the state that where they're in, or why do you want to come to the US? I mean, or some people would even include like, I went into teaching because I'm passionate about children. I've always loved to teach. I taught my my little cousins, things like that. Give them a little background of you and also your desire, your goal to be here.
Yeah,
that would be good.
yeah. Okay. Actually,
what-
yeah, I my passion is of course teaching, and I love seeing my student. I love seeing my student enjoying in my class, and that's make me feel confident that I am an effective and efficient teacher of them. I like creating meaningful activities that will engage their interest, guided with my positive classroom management as well. And then I am a flexible and positive teachers who love to collaborate, innovate, and discover and develop new strategies that will be suited and applicable to the individual differences of my students as well. And then I am passionate in taking good care of my students. I also it also gave me confidence that I'm doing good, that I am I'm taking good that I'm doing good, and they are enjoying while learning in my class, because I do believe that if the students are happily and enjoying in my class while they are learning, absolutely they are motivated and have the passion in learning too.
Very good. Those are really great stuff you have in there. But you kind of squeeze in a lot of things in there. You need to choose one or two or three things instead of having that overwhelming, all the things you said. Pick three. Three is always a magic number. And then from the three, you elaborate from there. Okay. So because if you just make those lists, that's kind of, too much info for me as an administrator. So, but those are good stuff. Pick the three good stuff, the best stuff. Okay. But you're good. You got really great ideas. You might want to also, if you have an interview, and I said this before, you need to research about that school. Go to their website. Every school in the US have, they have to have a website, and then you look at their mission and vision. I don't remember if mission or a vision, the one that's short. The one that's short, memorize it. It's always like one sentence. Okay, memorize it, and when you get asked a question, insert that, just like your mission and vision, you believe in making students succeed or whatever. Say it that way. They see that she did her homework. She actually visited our website, but also that the goal, their goal as a school or as a district, it. So everyone, if you do that, I think it should help your interview as well. What do you think, Ashley? And Abby and Leslie, do you think that would help if they know the mission or the vision, one of the shorter ones? Do you think?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
It will really help.
Yeah, it would help.
Actually, I'm sorry, ma'am.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, actually, Miss Amethyst, the one who was hired in Lee High School, asked the mission and vision for me, and I sent it to her.
Good for her. Good
Now
for
she's
you.
hired.
Yeah, I'm telling
Yeah.
you, that helps. I remembered Amethyst. So there's also one, though, she must be the one that had said no, because, a lot of times if you Google that school, it would not look good, right? They had really some negative things going on, but Abby has had good experience there. So you cannot judge it just because some people may have written some negative things about that school. Ask me.
Yeah.
Yeah, if it's a very, very, very dangerous school, I'm not going to send you there. Okay, because there was one school, I'm not going to name the school, but there was the one school that this person was going to be hired by this school, and I told her, I don't know, I can decide for you, but if it were me, my husband won't let me go there by myself, So if you have a partner, or if you already have somebody, then that's different. Or if there's a teacher that would let you rent you a room in their place, that way you have somebody that go to school with you, take you back, and so on, then that's different. That's a better story than you being alone by yourself. Yeah, my husband would not have liked that at all. So then she made her own decision that, I don't think I'll take. I think I'm gonna refuse the offer, and that's what she did. So, and I don't know where she is now. I don't know. She has not attended. So I don't know if she got a job anywhere else. What I'm finding is that we have a lot of members of this, or they would get my recording and they watch it. But then when they get hired, they just do not even contact us. We do not know where they are. And I wish that you don't do that. I wish if you're getting this recording and you got hired in the US, I wish that you will show up, 1 or 2 times, because the experience is so useful, right? Joanne, do you agree with that? That for example, hearing from Leslie and Mike and Abby, and Sheila, do you think that helped you?
I do agree with it. This is actually my 3rd time hearing from Miss Leslie, and second or 4th time from 4th time from Miss Leslie, and 2nd or 3rd time from Miss Abby. And even though it's the same thing all over again, but then the good thing is I am being refreshed of what I'm supposed to do, in case that I will be facing my interviewer. So at least it was a reminder again from Miss Leslie that I have to just stay calm, be who you are, be natural. It's always like that, and be authentic as well. Yeah. So yes, hearing from these people who are already in Arkansas, that's a great help. Very great help.
Yeah. So you see, if they're in Arkansas, I usually hear about it because I know a lot of the administrators, they would text me, Merlina, email, Merlina, I have, Filipino teacher, whatever, can you help her or him? So I would always know that, but then the other states, not necessarily. And I know you get so busy and forget, to do this, but because you're so overwhelmed at first. Dr. Elvin used to be, remember, he was so active, and he and his wife just now got here in Honolulu, Hawaii. Lucky ducks. Anyway, so I'm sure they're so overwhelmed with all the training and all the things that they have to do in order to get ready for the classroom. And you have to remember, if you're elementary, then you'll have to get a classroom ready with all these decorations and things. High school folks, you can just put, a poster or 2 there. But although Leslie and Abby's classroom, they really put their effort. You can really tell they used to be elementary teachers because they're one of, the most decorated high school rooms that I've ever been. Because most of the time they don't. Right, Leslie, do you agree? Like your neighboring.
Yes, ma'am.
School,
yes, ma'am.
You just put a poster.
The teachers in the high school are like going into my classroom and they were like, did you do this? And I'm like, yes. And then they said, oh my God, how did you do this? And I'm like, well, I don't know, but I'm used to doing this because this is what I do in the Philippines. And they were so amazed. But for me, it was just you care things that I do in the Philippines. And they were so amazed. I'm like, oh,
She's
I
very
must be
organized.
doing
Yeah, everything's
something.
got a place. Yeah, she got a place, and the walls have learning walls, and she has, so have a place like a display board for your student work. Try to make a room for that, and then anything that's there should be related to what you're teaching. So anyway, and then label things. If you're gonna have an ESL student, label things, cuchara, tenedor, cajun, you need to label those because the ESL kids would know, and then you teach them in English. I guess most people would actually do the Spanish and then the English with it. They actually would do that. So if you know you're gonna have an ESL child coming up, do that. In America, we get a lot of people from Mexico, and especially if you're in Texas and Arkansas, I know they're closer to Mexico, then we will get a lot. Like when I was an ESL director at one of the schools close to Little Rock, I got somebody that was just got here. And of course, everything was Spanish. So I have to like struggle. I had 12 hours of Spanish in the Philippines, but I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm so lost. But I have to like do some things like the Filipino words, about 80% of our words are actually Spanish. So I've actually used some of the Filipino words, but in a more Spanish way that I'm sure I really sounded funny, but I got through to that person and to the mother. I was able to communicate with them in my broken Spanish. How we would see someone when they're just learning a language. That's what I was. And I think I'm a little better on that because the other day I was like shopping and I heard some Spanish and I actually understood everything they said. So I'm doing a little better. Yeah. They're talking about, oh, is this too small? Is this too, oh, you need to get this color. I'm like, oh my God, I learned all of those. I know all of those. But anyway, there was also when I was teaching in Little Rock itself for 9 weeks. And then there was this child, Hispanic child, Latino, like they call them Latin X is the right way to do that. Latin means they came from Latin America, and X means that you don't know which country. So the proper way to say it's Latin X. For if you don't know, if it's Hispanic, but you don't know which country. So you say Latin X or Latino, Latina. But anyway, so this kid said, oh, Miss McCullough, I remembered when I have to wear like 4 or 5 different shirts. And then because it was so hot, in order for them not to have so much to carry, with them. So they have to wear all the clothes like this. And then I said, my grandma made me some tamales. It was still hot. And I was carrying it with us and we would stop, because they were coming in illegally. They were coming in illegally. So it was a dangerous thing. They should not do that, but he got here illegally. And so he was telling me about experiences, about how dangerous it was, and what the things that they did. I'm like, oh my goodness. And I said, now he's in Arkansas. And I think they had a program like to forgive some of those and so on. If they are in school, then there's lots of programs like that. So hopefully he will be okay, or he is okay. Okay, so Joanne, time, right? What is it, Les?
I think my aunt, Miss Giselle, want to share something.
Yes, Giselle, go ahead.
Go, Ate Betsy.
Hello, Doc. Good evening, everyone.
Go ahead, go for it.
I just wanted to share, Doc, because I guess I am the oldest one who is not hired here in the Zoom. I started last September, if you have remembered the talk. I started September 2022, but that time I was not. I did not send my resume because I had a. That time I had just had my twin, so they're just babies and they are premature babies, so they needed my attention. So like it's my emotions were cut into half, like applying and taking care of my babies. So I was the oldest one. Although I was not hired yet, I had my resume sent it to Doc Merlina last February. We also had an experience that we had a Zoom. There are only 3 of us. I don't know if you remember that, Doc Merlina, the one that you were driving in the car, you were lost somewhere, you're going somewhere with someone in the car. So there's just 3 of us. I think that was in late February.
Really, I
Then
don't remember.
in the March. If you do that, I remember that one, Doc.
Okay.
But with those experience, I was not discouraged. Why? Because every Zoom that we have, I am learning, not just going abroad, but as a teacher here in the Philippines. It really made me a better teacher here in the Philippines. I using all those strategies that you have given for our Zoom. Yes, I'm using those in my class, and it helped me with my pupils. So again, I am attending. Last September until December, we have every Saturday Zoom, right? Then
it was,
yeah, then
Now every
when that was, I think, after December that we had this after every other Saturday Zoom. But I would like to encourage everybody that coming here in Zoom every other Saturday night would not really, it's just not about our application. Yes, it's very useful to the interview, and but being a teacher, this is really very helpful. That every day in the classroom, you are you are given, it's just like you are given free training. No, you are given free training, you are not paying for it, you're just attending it, you're just listening, and you are learning from everybody else in the group. No, I love to hear those teachers from different from different areas of the Philippines with their experiences and with their ideas. Doc, that is very helpful. And I'm really thankful, though I was not hired yet, but I'm praying that one of these days. And I am encouraged by those people, like the one that talked last Zoom meeting, that she was applying for the US for 3 years, then just this year she was hired. So it was really an encouragement, no, to people like me. So yes, I'm encouraging everybody to attend the Zoom, because it will really help you as a teacher, no, and as an applicant for the US. That's all, Doc. Thank
Thank you so
you.
much, Giselle. Those are really kind words. Thank you so much. And I am learning from you as well. I'm asking questions like, how does this work in the Philippines? What do you do? Because I never taught in the Philippines. I got my education here, I taught here, but I was a student in the Philippines. So from the student perspective to the teacher perspective is so different. So I'm learning from all of you when you share things like, Abby and Leslie were sharing with me about they always did the decoration. And so when I had a party here, they did the decoration for me. They did an awesome job. So, I would learn about these things that you did, that you had to do everything by hand, or that you have to pay, for the snacks of some of these, big shots coming in from DepEd. I can't believe that you have to do that, but some of them had to do that and had to, chip in money in order for them to have a nice snacks. And, so that's so
Yeah, they
different
still
for me
do it.
because, huh?
They still do it until now.
Really? And see that in America, they would say, excuse me, what do you want me to do? They would like, oh my God, that would be just a big World War III. But no, it's not gonna happen here. They're gonna have a budget for that, and they usually have like kind of extra money that on the side, like a general fund, that they would get things. But I think in the Philippines, you have to know that we have to remember that it is a developing country. You can use third word now, a developing country. So we don't have the money that America does, you know. But anyway, and so how about the pay though? Is the pay really making that big a difference? Like 8 to 10 times. So Abby and Leslie, what do you think about the pay? Is the budget fine with you guys?
It's really like a lot. Yeah.
Yeah, it's
We are
different.
very well compensated here in America. It's yeah.
Yep.
I would say
there's a lot of difference when it comes to
money.
Yeah, you go ahead, Ate.
Yeah, I would say a year of compensation in the Philippines is just like a month and a half here.
Yeah.
Or 2 months.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that is the big difference. So it is worth waiting for. So and like Sheila said, if it's meant for you, it will happen. It will be, the path will be made for you, because after all, we're not in control. If we think we're in control, God laughs when we plan, because he already has a plan for us, right? So that's why that's saying, I make plans and God laughs. So anyway, because we're not in the driving seat, he is. So but then at the same time, we also need to, have the PD for ourselves. And having this, I know, a lot of times when you're providing something for free because it's no good, well, I'm hoping that's not it in this case, that we are really, it's a unique opportunity for you to learn from others. Where else do you get that? You know, if you get that somewhere when I do workshops, you know, I may charge $150 per person for that one day, you know, so that's expensive, but I am volunteering my time here. So, so anyway, so you're teaching me as well. So thank you. And I know some of you, and some of them went to bed already, but that's okay because the recording will be sent to you. I'm trying to see, Australia, I have not talked to you. So do you mind talking to me or Ricane? If you wanna, also Maurice, Maverick. Any of you guys, do you mind talking to us? Like, did you learn anything from someone today? Yes, go ahead, Australia. Tell us about you.
Yes, Doc, good evening.
Good evening, good morning from me here, yeah, but good evening to you. Yeah. Uh-oh, I can't hear you. What happened?
Have to speak.
Somebody's already in bed, I see. No sound. Can you make the volume louder? Because I don't see any, I don't hear it.
I think she's on mute, ma'am.
Oh, she's on mute. Okay, Mike.
Okay. Good
There.
evening, ma'am. Good evening, everybody.
Yeah, hello.
I am new to this group and I want to be in this group.
Good, thank you. Yeah, how did you learn about it? How did you learn about the group?
My friend, Ma'am Merlita Jimenez,
Okay.
she invited me to be with this group.
Thank you, Mama.
She talked a lot about this group and I am encouraged to be in this group also.
Well, good, I'm so glad. I'm so glad.
I want to be a teacher in the US.
Okay. How many years have you had experience-wise?
I have 24 years of teaching experience here in the Philippines.
Okay.
24.
Okay. When you do your interview, just say 20 plus. Because if it's 24, you're actually saying about your age. So I would say 20 plus years, yeah. More than 20.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you.
Yeah.
And I am teaching as of now grade 3 students.
Okay.
But I've been teaching grade 6 students, grade 5 and grade 1. And all the grade levels I have been teaching that through my substitute during my substitute teaching.
Okay.
Before I have the permanent position.
Okay. Australia, I'm sorry, I'm an English teacher, so instead of saying you have been teaching, you need to say I have taught. Okay, so you have taught it. Yeah. Yeah, no problem. Just say I have taught, and then that way it will sound better, but it is also the correct one. You can just I taught or I have taught. Yeah. Yeah.
And I learned a lot today listening from the different experiences of the different teachers, like from Ma'am Leslie, Ma'am Abby, Ma'am Joanne, and from you also, Ma'am.
Well, thank you so much.
I am happy listening, and I am happy to be with this group also.
Oh, thank you. You're welcome. You are very welcome to, to be with us anytime you want to, you can. I'm sending a recording of this. So if you have not emailed me, I would not have your email as part of the distribution group. So you need to email me, and it's at mcculloughmerlina@gmail.com. Okay. You can ask it from Mardita too. But take notes, because a lot of people that have done well on interviews, they actually took notes from the Zoom and they actually reviewed it before the interview. And they said they were able to, to refresh their mind because they heard it on the Zoom. And that practice PowerPoint, if you email me, ask me for the practice PowerPoint if you don't have it, because most of the questions are in that practice PowerPoint and it has the answer from me. And there's a Josephine videos that I also share, and that is me and Maria and I did interview Josephine, and she answered very well. And so I asked her, what can I have a copy of this and share it with everybody, because you did an amazing job answering. Although I added something, I always say, hey, you might want to add this, whatever. That's kind of what we do in mock interview, is they would answer and then I would say, you might want to do this. This is might be a better way to answer it, or you may want to put an example here, whatever. So that's good, and you feel free to message me. Do not call me, please. People have been calling my phone. I don't really want to call from my phone unless it's an emergency. But if it's just like to talk, whatever, just do a message on Facebook. So if we're not friends, you may want to request it, because if it's a Filipino teacher needing my help on mock interview, I'll be there if if my schedule would allow. But you have to remember, it's the opposite. So if it's a noon there, it is 1 o'clock in the morning for me here. Although I've been up because I've been watching my Netflix K-drama. Telling myself, I just finished The Longest Promise, and I just really I want to keep going. I wish that they have more of it, because The Longest Promise was such a good show. So that's one of the newer ones in Netflix. So I'm giving them a plug here. But anyway, so Australia, if you're not teaching, what do? You might want to include things like extracurricular things that you do. Like, do you do any?
I am doing my what's this? Selling books from the Philippine Publishing House.
Okay.
I am doing that during my vacant time.
So you can say
during the classes.
Okay, so you can say, when I'm not teaching, I like helping this, publishing book, because it's about books, and so when I'm not teaching, I help them, distribute books or whatever, and I enjoy it because books are so important to kids or whatever. So kind of tie it to education, although that might be your side thing that you're doing, but bring it back to you as a teacher, being book is a very big part of us, so kind of tie it, instead of this is my side thing, tie it together. Okay, so because you believe that these are good books, these are books that teachers should have or kids should have, so I'm helping, although sometimes we might do it because we need some money, but but don't tell them that. Just tell them that because the benefits of it. Yeah. And do you have any sports or anything that you have played or have coached?
In our house, we are playing chess with my husband and with my son.
You touched my heart, because I'm a big chess player. I love chess. So yeah, good. Continue that. And so you need to include that in your interview. Okay. In fact, you need to put that in your cover letter, saying I love chess, and if given an opportunity to work with a school, I would love to to start a chess club. Those are things that you dangle. It's like a carrot dangling to the school, like, hey, hire me because I have these extra things I know. So put those things in your cover letter and on your resume at the end, extracurricular activities. So you put that, because then you want to establish, if you want, you can start in your classroom. In my classroom, I always had a chess pieces going. I always have a table with the chess going in there. And then our rule was, you cannot, if you want to use it because somebody would really do it, you need to put take a picture of it, and then that way they can put it back. But a lot of time we don't want anybody to to touch it. We have 2 or 3 sets going until those people are finished. So they have to put a sticky note on who it is who's playing there, so they know to ask, hey, are you still playing this? They said, okay, if I break it, can you restart later? And sometimes they would say yes, yeah, that's okay, we'll just restart. But that's respecting. You're respecting another person's game there. So yeah, so included chess. Okay. So that's a really good thing, because not very many schools have chess clubs. And that's why Salem, when I was here, I did K-12, I had 77 members, and I partnered with a bunch of parents. So, the cafeteria tables, I had students there, and I have a parent every table, and they were in karate colors, starting with white folder to all the way to black folder. And the black folder, my daughter Stephanie and her friend was there because they were able to beat me. So if you're able to beat me, you'll be in the black belt, black folder. And so anyway, so yeah, the school, parents were still asking me, even when I became an administrator and went somewhere else, not teaching in Salem anymore, it's in Mountain Home, which is 45 minutes away where my sister lives. They would still ask me, they said, oh, Miss McCullough, we wish that you were still here because my son was looking forward to, being in chess or whatever. And I took them to tournaments, and I went and I wrote a letter. In the letter I have the school, I asked permission from the principal, of course, that to ask for a donation to buy our chess set, because we got the big tournament size one. Those are like $50. So it's really expensive. So I went and wrote a letter and then did it to the banks here, to the electric company, to the big companies here, and they sponsored us. And then the extra money they gave, we took some money to buy snacks for them whenever we practice. And then when we went to tournaments, we also bought gas for the bus. Now, I usually, if I had extra money, whatever, would give the bus drivers some money, kind of tip, because they were already paid. But anyway, we fed them too. If we stopped by McDonald's, I always bought the bus drivers meal. But anyway, but all those things are good, for you to do at the school. So dangle that. So any of you, if you know any sports, like Mike is doing a volleyball, then you need to make sure you share that, because sometimes that might be what puts you over the edge and become the person they hire, because you have something that the others don't. Okay, so Australia, I want you to keep the hopes up. Okay, and don't be worried that you have 20 plus years of experience, because I look at that as you have more knowledge, you have more wisdom, and so there's not going to be any age discrimination in America. I know, I remembered somebody asking me, Dr. McCullough, is it okay that I apply? I'm too old. And I said, how old are you? And she said, I'm 40. And I'm like, what? You're calling yourself old at 40? I'm 50. At that time I was 53 or something. I'm 53 and you call yourself old at 40. That's not fair. So I was laughing. But yeah, it's not everything. It's all in our head, all in our head. So if you can do the job, they're not going to worry about what age you are. Okay, Filipinos, we don't even look our age. I mean, people are thinking I'm in my 30s. And I said, I have a 32-year-old girl, daughter. So thank you so much. But yeah, because as Asians, I think we are gifted with that. That look at Abby and Leslie. They look like, high school kids. They are being mistaken as still students because they look so young. So yeah, so you don't worry about that part, okay? And so just be confident and practice. Practice. If you talk to me like this, then I'm talking to you like an American, administrator would. If you're talking to me really just comfortably like you're doing now, except you're going to be dressed up, very, very, you're going to be like wearing like a Sunday clothes. Make sure you do that whenever you have an interview. And then just relax and just enjoy it. Okay? Yeah. And I love that you put lipstick on, although you're about to go to bed. Somebody had given you that hint, like, yeah, put some lipstick on. I forgot. I didn't even put mine very much. I had coffee, tea already. But anyway, but that's good. I noticed those things because as an administrator, it would give me a message that you care, that you did that. That means you care. You really want, you really want this job, instead of like, let me just go. I'm about in my pajamas, but let me put in my pajamas and then have an interview. I hope nobody does that. For men, you have those de brazo, that little white thing, the de brazo. Oh, never, never, never. Okay, don't do that. You can put that inside and then put a little, better shirt on top. Okay, I mean, it's you don't put a gown on, no. But your background, I'm looking at your background. Have your folks, your family, do not go back and forth. If you're interviewing, tell them, hey,
that is my problem.
Yeah, just tell them because. Yeah. No, it's not a problem. You're fine. It's fine. You are being home. The ones that I don't like are those that like bunch of junk and all this in the bag. And I'm like, oh my God, why do you show me that? I'm sure there's other angle there. Now, some people are putting curtains like on the wall, and then they have, they would have that good background. That like their Zoom place, the Zoom area, whatever. But your background right now is fine. But you can do that virtual. I mean that the background on virtual background, and what I'm using is this, but you could also use the one where you blurred. When you do blurred, your background does not show. It just shows you. Okay. So let me see if I can show you, because that's one of my favorite ones is blurred. It's blurred ones. I can find it. It's usually on the top. I have so many. Yeah, blur. Look at this. Look at this. Can you see my background? Can you see my background? A little bit, but not much, right? Now it's not clear, right? And so that's what you could do. You go under by the camera, that one that said, you see a camera on the bottom left, and then click on the arrow, and you see the choose virtual background. It's the second or third one. Yep. Do that blur.
Camera.
Yeah, see if you can do that. Oh, yeah, well, I want to see how the blur looks like on you.
Share captions.
Disappeared. Okay, yeah. See if you can do the blur because I want to see.
Apps. Captions.
Did you go to that stop video part on the bottom left and an arrow? Do you see that?
Bottom.
I don't know if everybody should be the same though. And then you click on it and it would say choose a virtual background. And you click on that. Yep. Choose next to the camera. There's an arrow and then choose virtual background. You go there, you click on it, it should turn blue. And once you get there, then you pick blur. And that's how you do it. So that way you don't have to worry about your background. You didn't know it was going to be a lesson on background today. But everything is always a learning opportunity. And so I've learned that from somebody too. So yeah, you can do that. And that way it will make you look more professional as well. So if you can do that right now, it's okay. Just you can just do that later. Just remember it's so by the camera, then go to the choose virtual background, click on it. Yeah, and then you'll be shown that, and it's next to none is blur, the next one. Yeah. You do that later because I don't want you to have pressure. You know, we're watching you. I don't ever want to put anybody on the spot, especially your students. You know, if you feel like that student really does not know, do not put them in a spot. And if you do ask them and they don't know, just tell them, hey, will you call a friend? I want you to call a friend because you gave that power to the kid. Instead of you embarrassing that kid, you give him or her that power. Call a friend. I want you to call a friend to help you. Okay, friends, you need to help if she calls you or he calls you, okay? You know, I would do something like that. So it's kind. Your classroom needs to always be kind and respectful. Okay? And so I'm sure you already do that. I'm sure I'm preaching to the choir. You know what that means? Anybody know what I mean about when I say I'm preaching to the choir? This is a test. Anybody? Abby and Leslie? What does it mean when I say, oh, I'm preaching to the choir? Okay, they must be doing something else. But anyway, preaching to the choir means
I think.
Go ahead. Yeah.
I'm just guessing. It's the first time to hear that. But for me, I'm just looking for context clues. I think it's like talking to people who knew about it already.
Got it. Oh, 100, A plus, A plus, A plus. Good job. Let's give her a round of applause.
Thank you, ma'am.
Yeah, that's it. You're already here preaching over there to people that, been there, done that people, then you are preaching to the choir. Yeah, and you will meet a lot of figurative language like that. The funny thing that happened to me was, how it's always snows and, you can believe that ice would fall and, from the sky, right? We knew that before we even see it. Well, the second day I was here, I saw this deer and I said, oh, do we have goats here? I said, no, that's a deer, right? It's no big deal. But then later when the winter time happened, and, Mr. McCullough said one day about, oh, it's raining cats and dogs, before it started turning into snow, it was not cold enough yet. And I ran to the window because I said, really? It also rains cats and dogs here on top of the ice? I just thought that was so funny. And it happened to me. I was so embarrassed because I thought, well, America, anything could happen. It rains ice. Why not cats and dogs? But it really just means that it's raining a lot, heavy rain. That's what it means. But as a foreigner, as an ELL person, you don't have that in our country, right? And so barking up the wrong tree, why would you bark at a tree? Are you a dog? So and then pulling a leg. You're pulling my leg, right? So what does that mean about pulling somebody's leg? You're joking. Okay, so Leslie, if you're joking to me, I would say, you're pulling my leg, right? And so I learned that. I was so excited to use it. Well, when I think pull, I think push. So one day I told someone, oh, you're pushing my leg. And that person was like laughing so hard because I use the word that's different, but that's how I associate my words. pull push. I just used the wrong one. And that person still remembered it. Now that happened about 30 plus years ago. She was like telling, I remembered, Merlina, when you said this. And I'm like, thanks a lot. I love you too. Yeah. So yeah, those things like that. And they were laughing at me because I went to a restaurant here close by and I was looking for rice. They thought that was so funny to ask it in a cafe, in a small restaurant that just sell hamburger and all that. They thought that was so funny that I asked for like, where's rice? You know, I was looking for like what we do. We always see rice in the Philippines, not here. Sometimes it could be a side dish in some restaurant, but a lot of time your little restaurants here do not have rice. And that's why, you know, like when we talk about Betsy being just here in Clarendon and she doesn't have maybe rice, you know, that's kind of rough, you know, to have 10 days of no rice. So I need to contact her and find out what she needs. But anyway, so I may have to do a trip there next week. We'll see. But anyway, so questions like that. I did actually a workshop where I had this book about figurative language, and I gave everybody like you know, something to draw or to make or they have to do both. Somebody in the groups of 4, they have to do, 2 people would have to do a drawing of the figurative language. You know, for example, don't bark up in the wrong tree or something. You're barking up the wrong tree, and then say they were actually drawing the, you know, the barking and you know, doing the barking like that, and then they're actually doing the tree in modeling clay or Play-Doh. They actually did that, and then they presented. You know, so if I had an ESL child, this is what might be in her head, the child's head, that this is, you know, something was barking on the tree, instead of what the meaning is that you're blaming the wrong person. Okay, the wrong person is, you know, is being blamed for that. So you're barking up the wrong person. You're not, you know, you're asking me and it's not me. Okay, so don't bark up in the wrong tree. Okay, so there's a millions of that, you guys. And so anyway, so they still, Mr. McCullough would still come up sometimes with me with a new thing, and I'm like, what does that mean? You know, and he would tell me, and you know, of course, I would remember it wrong, so I mess it up every time. So don't feel bad when you do. Anyway, it's already 20 minutes over what I intended to. So I think we're just gonna have to end unless we see someone that really wants to talk. Did anybody, Joanne or Mike, that needs to talk? Other Australia, thank you again, Australia. I hope that you do send me an email so you can have a copy of this recording. Okay?
Yes, thank you. Thank you too. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah. So who
I
else?
don't think that there is anyone else.
Okay.
Because I tried to I tried sending them an email, a message directly, but then no one responds. No one responds, so I don't think that they do have.
Okay, well,
any questions.
those are a good way to close. Then I told you about figurative language, and we also talked briefly about the 5 core propositions. It seems like we always talk about that, but it's very important. Okay. By the way, I also put 5 core proposition and description in the ITSA reels. So you may want to look at that, because the details on it would also help you in your classroom. So, okay. So I guess because we don't have anything else to say, I will see you sometime in August. I don't know. Can somebody look up what date would that
August
be?
12.
Oh, 12. That is the wedding of my friend Bibi.
Okay, then.
But
Let's
we can still
move
do
it.
it. I think her wedding is later. That's fine. We can still
Are
do
you
it.
sure?
Yeah, it's fine, because her wedding is not like till 11, which is like, you know, we will be done by 10, 9:30. So
Then I have to remind you that you only have 1 hour.
yeah. Yeah, we'll do fast because I will have Leslie and them here too. So I will have
Okay.
Doc.
Okay.
They're cooking our favorite breakfast at that time, I'm sure. So Abby, did you bring us some dried fish? Did Abby bring some dried fish, Les?
Yes, ma'am, she did.
Yes, ma'am.
Oh,
And
yeah.
she has something for you.
I have a million tomatoes. I have a million tomatoes, Leslie, and Abby, that would go well with that. And Mike,
Yeah, I
if you
can't
want to come
wait.
to the wedding, come. I cannot get it done, by the way. Nobody can do it. One had a college graduation to go, and the other one, the husband had to work. So no lechon, but they will have all kinds of food there. So, Mike, you don't think you can come because it's nearly school? Is that what you're saying?
Doc, how about the banner?
Yeah, did you get the banner, Abby? Oh no, it was not Abby, it was Maria. And Maria won't be back till August 6th.
Ah, it's Maria.
It's Maria
got the wrong
because
person.
yeah, Maria sent me a message and she wants me to send her the logo that we have. So I sent it to her.
Okay.
So I think she's trying to work on it.
Yeah, I told her to get one for each area. So there'll be one for Helena and one for Brinkley. And Barton, you can borrow each other because there's only 2 of you. So yeah. And I think Brinkley has hired maybe a couple of people for more Filipinos. So I think there may be 5 or 6 of them this coming school year. So, and I sent a text to their superintendent. I said, hey, Dr. Poole, Brenda, I call her Brenda. Hi, Brenda, I don't want to be pushy, but I just want to know, about the status of my proposal for this year. Where is it at now? And she said, oh, Merlina, I've been so busy with all these things, that they do in the summertime. And I said, but it will be on the August board agenda. So it will be there. And I said, oh, good. Okay. Well, just let me know because I need to work on my schedule. That's what I told her. So yeah. Okay. So bye-bye again.
Bye po. Bye, Doc. Bye, everyone.
See you guys. Bye-bye.
Two Saturdays.
All right. Take
Bye,
care.
Doc.
Thank you,
Bye,
Paul.
Carefully,
everyone.
Mike, on the way back with your family. Okay. Bye, guys.
Bye.
Bye. Bye, Sheila.
Congratulations,
Yeah.
Miss
Have a good
Sheila.
Saturday. Yeah.
Thank
Bye-bye.
you.
Fighting, girl. Yeah. Okay. Bye-bye.
Bye, Miss Leslie. Bye, Sir Mike.
Bye. Bye everyone.
Bye.
Yeah.
Bye.